you come out, first album, you're touring with Madonna, 1985. If you're going to tour with Madonna in 1985, I'm thinking is the time. I mean, just must have been you're in the center of an insane whirlwind. You couldn't have calculated that.
It was pretty crazy for her. I mean, think about it.
She talks about it. She never got over it.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was though, I think, where we were on that tour, and it was a huge deal and totally absurd that we got asked to do that tour. And
Right.
That's a bit of a story unto itself. But which Adam could tell, or I could tell, but either of us could tell it. But anyway, or you could just read the book and it's in there.
Which would make what we're doing now completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
What if this whole thing was just read the book and then we just end it?
No,
No, you don't have to go into it. I'm just saying.
So no, but Madonna became but my point is actually that she booked a tour and she was playing like theaters, and by the time the tour was actually happening, she was so beyond selling out a theater in terms of stature. Like
Right.
she literally was I think by the tour, before the tour is finished, I think she was like on the cover of Time magazine or something. So it was like she was on her way to being a cultural phenomenon, but then she really was one by the end of that
Right.
tour. So
Is it a coincidence that we
crazy
were
to see.
on that tour? I mean, I don't know.
All I'm saying is before you guys signed up, she's in theaters. Small
Yeah.
theaters.
Yeah. I mean,
Then-
she used to be we used to play at the same clubs in New York.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And then
All right.
you
no one ever talks about that part of
You're
the story.
right. In the podcast era, this is compelling information.
Well, actually, it is. Because she's floundering around. She's in theaters. It's going nowhere. You add the mixture, the key element of the Beastie
Yeah.
Boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Suddenly, she's on the cover of Time magazine, which at that moment was a big deal.
Huge
Of course,
deal.
now no one
Oh
knows
my
what you're
God.
talking about.
You don't know who Joe Franklin is, do you?
Yes, I do.
We were on the Joe Franklin show.
No, really?
In
Yeah.
83,
Joe
84.
Franklin, just for our listeners.
Yeah, how do
sorry.
you explain Joe Franklin?
Joe Franklin, a guy who never should have had a show, but magically did. He name dropped everybody in show business. He had a small, it almost would today look like a cable access show.
Yeah.
And he sat there and his show was on for 40 years.
Forever.
Really?
Forever.
Yeah,
I don't
forever.
know.
And he had like a real studio in New York. Like you'd go and it was like very vaudevillian,
Yes,
right?
and a
It's
lot
like-
of his references would go over the head of anybody here, but Joe Franklin is an iconic New York institution.
Yes.
And being on I can't imagine the Beastie Boys on the Joe
It was
Franklin
so
show.
great. And then at the end, he was like, well, fellas, whatever he called us. I don't know. He's like, I see big things happening to you since you are going to be on this show. And he was basically like, you're giving the Joe Franklin bump. It was pretty great. It was pretty great. You're like, I don't know. Next thing you know.
Yeah, then we go on tour.
So what you're saying,
Madonna
Joe
and-
Franklin blesses you, then you guys
Rock and Roll Hall of
bless
Fame.
Madonna, and then Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, true. You're right.
Joe
It all
Franklin
goes back
blessed
to
us.
Joe Franklin.
You guys have 7 platinum selling albums. And that's thanks to a man named Joe Franklin.
What's with the other ones that aren't platinum? Because we made more than 7 records.
I have bad news for you.
Good
I
question,
know.
Adam.
No, I don't. I did.
There's a
I
couple,
love-
everyone's
Couple
got everyone's
stinkers.
got a couple of duds. Everyone.
I like
I
them.
mean,
I love
to happen.
that your mind works that way because that's exactly
It's
Sona.
what didn't work.
It's
There's 7 that did, but what didn't work?
yeah. That's exactly how
I
mine
didn't
works.
know
Yeah.
a music insider. Would you like some musical insider information?
Yes, I would.
So we were at our studio here in California, and I was smoking the pot. This was a long time ago.
Oh God!
And we had
Trying to discourage kids from doing this.
we had a gold record on the wall. It was our record, Paul's Boutique.
hmm
And I was looking at it, and I could see it has our label, and I could see that it has whatever, like 9 songs on the one side. And I was looking at the actual gold record, and it only had 4 songs on it. And I was like, wait, you guys. And so we opened it,
Yep.
and we put the record on a record player,
A
and
gold
it was,
record.
well,
And it
open,
was-
broke the
Sure,
glass.
broke it open.
Broke the
Yes,
glass and took
yes,
the,
and put the
record,
actual
out
record
of
on
the
there.
thing.
and it was somebody doing like piano versions of like Barry Manilow, like Feelings, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was just some other
So,
shit.
When someone
just-
has a gold record, they just take any record.
Apparently,
Apparently
Spray
for
pages.
us.
At least
I don't know
in
about
our-
anybody
Yeah.
else,
I mean,
but I'm telling you,
I'd like to think that for
yes.
Barbara Streisand, Donna Summer, like a
Barry
real
Manilow.
mega star, that it was actually their record.
should
but
lead-
in
this
our
should-
case, it was some like
I'm saying this
somebody
is a
that was like,
documentary. Whoever's record that was, I'm just talking.
Yeah.
This
that's a
should
free
lead
No, it
to
was
like
facts.
a quiz show kind of investigation because I think all gold records need to be examined. They
Mhm.
all need to be recalled. And you need to go to
Yeah.
every, and you should check them out because it's probably not their record. And if it's
Recount.
not on a massive scale, recount. It's
Yeah.
a recount.
yeah, we need a recall of all
This is
gold and platinum plaques.
maybe the most
from-
important
yeah.
thing facing America right now,
Oh,
Yeah.
at least for the next couple of months.
okay.
All
Yeah.
our energy should go
Well,
into
I think
it.
Conan, you could be a
At
big
least till
part of this. Like
December.
next time, say Lady Gaga is here, you could really urge her to do the same. Play her.
You guys have come to the right
Platinum
place. I have incredible
plaque.
power in the music industry.
I didn't know you could play those. I just
mean-
thought they were decorative.
Yeah,
thought
I
they
didn't know
were-
either. I didn't know. I hadn't thought
well,
about
it
it.
turned out it basically seemed like, I guess, it was somebody's record that was spray painted gold or something. I don't know.
some other
Because
buddy.
who would? Who
Yeah.
would break the glass and put it on a turntable? They weren't counting on you guys.
No,
You were the X factor.
we were the sleuths that uncovered this incredible
This
crime
could
ring.
be an action movie with John Cena.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
yeah. No, John
And
Cena
all-
and The Rock. The Rock,
I
breaks
can't
the
do
glass.
both.
We can't afford the Rock.
No, one or the
Now
other.
you
We
blew
can't do
it.
both.
Just stick
Just
to
saying.
John Cena. We can get John Cena because he
Jason
does commercials.
Momoa.
Too much.
Oh,
Really?
all right. But how about this? Jason Statham is the bad guy who makes the plaques.
This is way too hot for me right now.
I love it. I want in on this, and I'd like to be a producer, but also I'd like to be in the film.
Hmm.
Can I just say this now that we're in Hollywood, California? Anybody that like makes action movies, I just want to be in the background during an action scene. I want to get pushed into like a thing of fruit. That's what I just want to be in a movie where like they're
Why a
chasing
thing
and
of
somebody
fruit?
just
Why a thing
pushes
of-
me into like a fruit cart.
Why
I
fruit?
think I think Adam Ad Rock would like to be pushed into fruit in the
Yeah.
background of a.
But wait a minute. Is fruit, is that like a safe landing? Like what is?
It's
what's
just
the
always
thing?
the thing where like people are walking, they're like, whoa, and the car
Yeah.
comes, they get pushed into the thing of fruit.
Well, there's always
Yeah.
the chase scene that like goes through like
That's
the,
what I'm saying.
the, like hotel
And the
kitchen with to
cafe
the
or something.
secret back entrance.
This was my
and-
coffee reference, the cafe.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I'll see that is done. I'll see that
Just
that
the
happens.
listeners.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, that
Um,
and please, help us uncover this platinum plaque
Yeah, gold.
controversy.
It
Gold.
wasn't platinum in the story.
It wasn't. It was. You're right. It was.
I'm
gold.
sorry.
but
Stickler for the details.
I'm gonna say that probably the same for the platinum.
Yeah, who knows? Or
Yeah.
maybe it's a status thing. Like gold, you're like, eh. I
just
don't know.
spray paint that
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know.
that album by the
It's
Partridge
true. I
Family.
mean, platinum. Maybe they had a better eye for detail, and
You know, it's funny because the dynamic, your brother could not be less like you. It's so fantastic
I know.
how different you guys are. And I've got to know him a little bit. And you've described yourself as a dyslexic extrovert and Rich as an OCD introvert.
Yeah.
And I thought when I read that
I mean,
description.
I said that in a therapy session and it got out.
Yeah. I was the therapist. I was
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah,
just
when
came in for the meds and now all of this.
But it's fascinating that it works so well, and then in other times you guys would have to say, "That's it, can't do this anymore" for a long period of time.
Yeah, and for again, like anything in life. I mean, I envy the bands that every band, every business, every partnership, everything has its ebb and flow and good
Mhm.
and bad. I love the people that kept their shit private. We were just not going to be that way.
Mhm.
To us, our connection with music and everything is an emotional connection. It's a feeling. We didn't learn music. Rich and I don't know any music. If you put it in front of us, I don't know what key I'm singing. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it is something that we've developed. And I mean, yes, of course, we know a little bit of music 35 years later, but it's really just by a visceral sort of connection to what it is. In the same way, that's how we write. You know, Rich will play me it could be the littlest thing. It could be, I don't know, a rhythmic thing, a seventh note. I don't know. It could be whatever it is dictates. That's where I start. That's where I come in. This song is whatever the theme is going to be comes from something that She Talks to Angels is a great example. We were still living at mom and dad's house, and he just played that little thing, and he just started mucking around with open E. And that song is funny because it was very easy to write a scene or a story about. I knew someone that looked a certain way who I at the time had heard was into heroin, right? Or hard drugs. But I don't know. They never had a child or lost a child. You know what I mean? Like, I just fill in the blanks of the story I want to tell. But I'm not even beginning to tell that story without just whatever that little thing is Rich plays me. Because I've written many songs by myself, written songs with other people, and it's different. You know what I mean? That's what he and I do. So between our OCD and dyslexia, we make one functioning songwriter, I think. We're one Billy Joel.
So
Billy Joel who doesn't shower.
I'm picturing when little kids, when one gets on the other's shoulder and they put on a big trench coat and try to go to the movie theater as an adult, and the hand comes out of the crotch to pay for it.
But instead, they play piano. Man.
By the way, what's the Billy Joel song where he goes, what's the one where he breaks into like a vampire voice? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one.
God, it's so funny.
Long Island Vampire?
No, it's one of his big hits. Yeah, the Long Island Vampire.
You're going to talk to Big Shot. That's one. Big Shot. No, because that was
a big shot.
Yes.
Didn't
That's so fucking crazy.
I'm like, what is he?
That's so crazy. I started to scan my brain and I just said, Billy Joel Vampire. And I went to him and the guitar going, you think that you're a big shot, didn't ya?
Count Chocula.
Yeah, Count Chocula. Well, you're not coming to my castle. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, someone talk to the bass player because I'm in the key of E flat. What?
After every concert, his band mysteriously disappears.
Will you get him on just to ask him what the fuck was that?
I would ask him about the other song where he's like, JFK blown away. The one where he's just listing things that happened in history. That's the one I remembered that Billy Joel was on Saturday Night Live and he was performing that song. We
didn't start the fire.
But then it's the whole list of like,
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe DiMaggio.
Okay, well, you're fired. You have a now. Get out.
By the way, I have erectile dysfunction after that.
Yeah.
Really? I have a huge boner.
But anyway, I remembered being back near the craft food service table where the double doors are in Saturday Night Live, where the food is, and I'm standing there, and he's singing that song, listing things, and Jim Downey's standing there, and he turned to me and he went, "He's just listing things." This is when it was like the #1 song in the country. But Jim Downey knew. He's just listing things.
Just reading the credits as it goes down. It's like, bring me my Encyclopedia Britannica. Which ones do you want? All of them.
Get them all. This is a long song.
A to Z. Sorry, I didn't know why he breaks into the vampire sound.
Well,
it was the 70s.
He was feeling it. You think you're a big shot, didn't you? What's fascinating to me is that I don't think people get all jumbled up about time later on and it doesn't matter, but you have to understand that in 1990, nobody was dressing like you. There was a Seattle punk thing that was starting to happen, and then there was also hair metal, and then you guys, and I think you've called it's Mick Jagger circa like 1970.
Well, yeah, we really loved like 72 Stones. Like that was like the way Keith kind of looked. The Stooges. But it's funny because I always remember, it was hard to find clothes like that. And everyone had looked like Guns N' Roses. And we went to England for the first time and they had a place called Kensington Market. It was fabulous, amazing place. Like crazy stalls and homemade wild clothes and all sorts of stuff. Punk things, goth things, whatever it could be. And I bought a pair of like maroon kind of bell bottoms. And we came back to the States and we were on tour with Aerosmith, funny enough, our first tour bus. But we played a gig in Rochester, New York. There's a baseball stadium there. And it was Black Crowes, Warrant, Metallica, Aerosmith. We're on first. And I remember this. I come out of the thing and I'm like wearing my bell bottom, you know, with the way we look. And people are like snickering at me. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers laugh all you want. I look cool, you know, like I feel cool.
Yeah.
And we went up and did the gig, and people, like a lot of Metallica fans are like, you know, carving pentagrams of bleeding in their hands. Fuck yeah! Yeah!
Oh, I get that a lot.
You know, they were like, we were the worst thing they've ever seen, but we were still kind of street, you know, we're from Atlanta, and I get up there and I'm like, rubbing my butt and looking at them, like kissing them, and I'm like, I just bring it up here, big boy, you know, I'm saying, they're fucking throwing tennis shoes and golf balls and shit at us. I'm like, who's bringing golf balls? Boing, boing. And so, but we did it. I'm like, who brought a pocket full of fucking golf balls to this gig? Security, you know. So we do the gig though, and we, you know, some people like it, I imagine. We're still here. But we didn't, we were like this, you know, fuck y'all. We're going to do our fucking thing. And this, you can't stop us. That's part of this weird rock and roll thing.
Yep.
So we go backstage. We're like, whatever. We played 30 minutes or whatever. Warrant is going on next. And they come out of the trailer in these little matching like outfits. They look like the Osmond family, you know what I mean? Crazy horses, you know.
I remember that.
And they would like do their little dance, and they would have like little matching, like one's got blue shirt, one's got a white shirt, blue pants, white leg, you know, little outfits. And these guys are wearing like these little, you know, at the time, I guess they had never saw the Osmond family, but
right.
So the stadium, I don't know, there's 50,000 people in there. And you just hear, Warren sucks, Warren sucks.
Oh, Jesus.
And that whole place is ringing this out. Like, it's loud. And they look at each other, and they went back in their trailer, put on their, like, sweatpants and got on the bus, and they left.
No.
And I was like, I mean, I get it. They didn't even know we were the Black Crowes enough to say we sucked. We would have gone out anyway. We just would have. We were that.
Insert name here sucks.
Yeah. These people wanted Metallica. And Aerosmith, which is totally cool. Of course, but I was like, you know, I was like, you should, if you really believe in what you're doing, you weather the storm, get up there, give it to them. You don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you can't just fold. I mean, I'm not picking on them. I'm sure they're rad dudes. I don't hang out with them at the all-you-can-eat sushi place.
Since Cheers, you've both gone on and played all these different parts, which the blessing is, I think it'd be difficult for some people to move on from an iconic sitcom like that. And both of you, it's from my perspective, been a cakewalk. Like, you've both just taken on all these very different roles and handled it beautifully and found all kinds of other playgrounds to play in. And I know that there's some luck involved, but clearly that's also a gift and craft. Can you guys handle that compliment?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, that was good.
I think that went down a little too easy. Well, I saw no struggle.
We're expecting something a little. I felt like a vacuum with that compliment. You know, just sucked it right up.
Can I ask Woody what his first movie was after playing Woody Boyd?
First movie?
After. Natural Born Killers.
Oh, that's right.
Talking about changing the subject.
Talk about a 180.
Yeah, that was astounding.
That's true.
I talked to you about this, Woody, but I love, I'm a big Coen Brothers fan, but I love No Country for Old Men. The scene you have where your character knows it's over and you're sitting in your chair talking to an assassin who you know is going to kill you. And it's this fidgety mixture of, I accept this and I'm going to try and talk my way out of it at the same time. And I love that performance. Yeah. And I thought, you know, for both of you, you've had a chance to have these these moments where you get to really play these different shadings and do these different things that you would have gotten to do on Cheers.
As to that scene, like I was shooting another somewhat forgettable movie in Vegas at the same time, so I was going back and forth, and that was in New Mexico, the one No Country. So I came back and I got this stuff out of the book because it was a book, No Country, and I got these things out of the book that I thought were kind of cool in the scene, but I'd heard they don't like to change much in terms of the script, the Coen brothers. But anyway, these things are so good. So I added these little elements, rewrote the scene.
Rewrote it.
Well, I just typed it. Yeah. Anyway, I come in, I get a hold of Javier, who's the other character in the scene.
Javier Bardem, yeah.
Javier Bardem, and then we meet over at his hotel room, and we rehearse. Come in the next morning, rehearse it again, and then they come into my trailer, and then me and Javier perform the newly written scene for the brothers, and at the end of it, they're like, no, we like it the way it was. It's good. Didn't change a word.
Did you both laugh? Did you laugh? Do you remember?
I don't think we laughed right at that moment. We'd done a lot of work to try to. But anyway, later, of course, they turned out to be right. Probably right then. They were right.
Yeah, they would. If we got them on the line, they would say, "No, at that moment, we were right."
Those guys, man, they're incredible.
But I was thinking about Ted. If you look at, you have obviously Becker, Damages, but then The Good Place, I thought was talk about a show where you were allowed to inhabit all these different realities that were fantastic.
It almost felt like a children's morality play.
Yeah.
It had that quality to it. It's one of the things I'm most proud that I was part of. It wasn't easy.
No, I wouldn't think so.
To shoot. The language was so elevated. You just had to work your ass off to
This is Mike Schur, brilliant showrunner, creator. There's a moment at the end of the first season of The Good Place where, for anyone who hasn't watched the show, you need to binge watch it. But there's a huge O. Henry twist at the end of the first season, which I did not see coming. And it all hinges on your face, because your face, you're busted on something, and your face we have to find out who you really are, and you transform in that moment.
Yeah, that was
And I was
fun.
like, one of the best things I've seen on TV in memory. It was great.
That's cool. That whole kind of ending went viral at the same time that Netflix picked it up to run it on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it just catapulted us in this great way. All of a sudden, people are going back and watching the whole season. By the way, we are all but sworn to secrecy about the ending.
Yeah.
Naturally, even before we started shooting, I blew it. I was
No.
yeah, don't give me a secret. If it's really important, I'll
Wait,
keep
this
it.
is on which? On the ending of the whole series, or
The ending of the first
of the
episode. This
first episode,
moment that
you
you're
blew
talking.
that?
Well, I didn't blow it, but I did have loose lips. Yes, I was talking to my friend John Krasinski, and he said, "What are you doing next?" I said, "Oh, I'm working with your friend Mike Schur. It takes place. It's in the afterlife." And I start telling him what it's about, and I can see him go, "Oh, yeah, The Office, but in heaven," in his head. And I go, no, wait a minute, you don't get it. See, what happens at the end is blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I gave away the whole secret
Into a megaphone.
and then had to pretend in front of everybody in all these kind of cast meetings of let's keep this private. Please don't blow this. And I go, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Actually, you want to take the lead in that. You want to stand up and go, "This is really important, guys.
Listen up.
Listen up, because someone's been squawking to Krasinski, who I'm not a fan of and don't talk to."
He's literally like 1 degree of separation from everyone.
everybody.
He knows every soul.
Yeah. And of course, Larry David You work with Larry David. You've been such a big part of Curb
We
Your
both
Enthusiasm.
worked with Larry. You were on this year, weren't you? Yeah, you were.
I got to be on one. Yeah.
What was your bid on the show?
Well, thanks for watching it, but you weren't in it, so I don't expect you would. But no,
Did you watch mine, Woody? Did you watch my episode?
yours was great. So what I wanted to say.
What was your favorite moment of
Yeah, did you
Conan's?
like me as a magician?
That was some top.
It's so funny.
The thing with the scars, man. All the scars.
I
couldn't
wasn't a
believe it.
magician.
More scars.
I tricked you. Wow.
No, but
Yeah, what was your episode?
I do a thing where it was funny because I'm supposed to. I play myself, but I'm going on. I'm getting an Academy Award, and then I do this whole thing where I talk about mistreatment of cows, and so then then he wants to do a show with me, so I go over and I meet with him, and then he's like, well, pitching at the thing or something, and then I'm like, oh, this milk, you have, is that milk? And he goes. And he remembers because he saw the. He says, "Oh, no, that's from my cow on my farm." And then, well, anyway, so I'm like, we should go out there and
Yes,
see the
of course, yes.
And anyway, so things go bad out on the farm, and in the end, and in the end of it, I'm like, I'm throwing cherries at him or something, and I'm saying, Ted Danson was right about you.
I'm always the asshole on his show.
But
Always.
it's funny.
No, but I improvised that.
That-
That wasn't his idea.
Once again.
Yeah.
Once
Hey,
again.
the Coen brothers were wrong.
Oh, no, I
You
know
wanted
what
to
you're
throw-
thinking.
You wanted to throw cherries at Javier Bardem in this emotionally packed scene.
Can I tell you how wounded I have been over the years because
I
of
knew
Woody?
he was gonna.
Horribly wounded. I once pantsed him in front of a full audience, and he decided he was his day of going commando or something. So it was very effective, and it pissed him off. But later, a year later, because he's like a killer, he waits and he waits and he waits, and he invited me to his premiere of his movie. It was Doc Hollywood. With Michael, and he's kind of a hick in the movie, and then at the end, all the, pardon the slang, hicks come to Hollywood and they're sitting around watching. But he comes to me and he says, Ted, I really want you to come to my movie, the premiere. I so respect what you think, and it would mean a lot to me. And he just laid it on, and I was just so chuffed. I felt
of course.
so happy my new friend loved me this much. And I show up, and he says, hey, Ted, over here, sit right behind me. Right, I got a great seat. So I was sitting right behind him. God bless Woody Harrelson. I love him so much. The end of the movie comes, and all the hicks are sitting around this coffee shop in Hollywood, and you hear the last two lines are oh, there's a movie star. And then, was it you? Said, no, that's Ted Danson. The whole audience roared with laughter, and I had to ha.
Beautiful.
It was deep.
Beautifully
Deep
done.
cut. Yeah.
Beautifully
Thank you.
done.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
I did hear a dog bark while you were speaking so eloquently in the background.
Yeah, that was Bo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
He
just-
doesn't know that I'm on a podcast.
You didn't explain. You didn't explain to Bo that.
I did. No, I did. In fact, I had someone give him meat to take him away. And then he's like right up under my feet breathing. He breathes heavy. He's just such a heavy breather. And then it's all these plugs. I'm like, you're gonna unplug everything.
I wish you would. I'm guessing that you probably put someone in charge of keeping an eye on Bo during.
I thought I did.
And you know what I say to that? Thanks, Obama. I know just who to blame. Not long ago, I'm in New York City, and I sit down, and I'm in an outdoor cafe, I think on the Upper West Side.
No, it was East Side.
Oh, East Side.
Yeah.
Upper East Side. I'm no longer allowed on the Upper West. until the charges are dropped. But
What?
no, it's a long story. Sona, please.
Zabar's has banned him.
I stole an everything bagel. And they don't mind if you steal an onion bagel, but when you steal an everything
That's going
bagel,
too
that's
far.
like
Stuff
crossing
on
the
it.
line.
There's
far.
a lot of stuff
But
on it.
I was sitting there and we ran into each other, and this was my visceral response was, God, I love Susie Essman. She's such a real person. You are a real person. Some people in the business kind of calcify a little bit. You are so emotionally available. You were so nice. And so we part company, and I immediately text Paula Davis, who you were hanging out with beforehand. And I said, we have to get Susie Essman on the podcast. And of course, she texts right back, I love Susie Essman. But that is the effect I think you have on people.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
But it's so funny that what most people know you from, even you've been successful and you've been in comedy. And I mean, you did Carson in 1989.
Oy vey. It was not good, by the way.
It didn't go well?
No, it didn't go well.
What happened? Tell me about it.
I was on a series on NBC called Baby Boom. It was a takeoff of the movie that had been with Diane Keaton, only
Right.
Kate Jackson was playing the main character. I was her secretary. So they had me on as like the young NBC ingenue. And I was a comic, and he didn't know I was a comic. And I think I was a little bit too blue for him, or too. I looked in his eye, and I grew up on Carson. I mean, I'm older than all of you combined, I think. Maybe not Aaron, but.
That's true.
That's very true.
Aaron Blair,
But
so
David,
young.
how old are you, David?
32.
32.
Well, he grew up on Carson Daly.
Yeah, Carson Daly.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is, like when I was a kid, I used to set the alarm to wake up because we didn't have VHS or DVR or any of that crap.
Right.
And just, I would set the alarm if it was Jonathan Winters or Rickles or, it was.
Yes.
So to be on the show, and yet he was nothing like, I looked at his eyes and it was just ice cold. And I had no rapport with him. And David Steinberg was the guest that night next to me, who then became my friend because he directed so many Curbs. But he was incredibly kind and gracious to me. But I was never so scared in my life. I remember going on, there was no moisture in my life. In my mouth. And it was just really scary, and it didn't go well.
I've always heard that he was, and got to meet him a couple of times, that he was quite different from what you saw on television.
Yes.
And some people are very good at projecting warmth, and then they're quite shy, off camera. And then I've talked about this before, because you can go through show business and say, it's almost like there are two types of comedian. There's, Steve Martin. When you meet Steve Martin, I love him, and I've become very friendly with him. But when I first met him, when I was a writer at SNL, I was expecting the Steve Martin that I idolized when I was in grade school and high school. He's quiet, he's guarded, he's very serious. And, he's like a surgeon who's going to get ready to do a very big operation. And then you meet Marty Short, and Marty Short will do 45 minutes.
Right.
And so I very quickly realized, I'm the Marty Short type.
Yeah.
Later on in my career, I sometimes meet people that have since become well-known, but they knew me when I was hosting the late night show, and they were the receptionist at like an architecture firm. And I came in with my wife because we were going to do some work on our apartment. And then later on, they went on to become very well-known actors, actresses, comedians. And I would say, okay, was I nice? And they're like, you were very nice. And you did bits for like 20 minutes to the point where I had to excuse myself. And that always really makes me...
You were so needy.
Still is.
Yeah. But also, I will say, in my defense, I am, yes, needy is one word, and it is Conan O'Brien needs a friend. But also, I really enjoy it. And sometimes...
What's better than making people laugh?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll leave. Sometimes I'll leave, and I'll say to my wife, Liza, I'll say, man, I really killed in there. And she will say, it was a room full of third graders. You were there to read a book. That's all you had to do was read them a book. But you had to do a whole thing.
Does your wife laugh at you?
She does.
Yeah.
Thank God, because I think there are times where definitely she's looking at me and I think she knows California is a 50-50 state. She knows she's financially set.
We remind her all the time.
Yeah, they're always reminding her. But then I'll say something and she'll laugh and I'll think, okay, I think we're good for another day.
Is she funny?
Yes, she's
Okay.
very funny and she can be very funny on her own, but also very dry and kind of like, that's great. Yeah, that's really funny. Let's wrap it up. Let's go. And I saw Bob Newhart and Jenny, his wife, came to our house once. She's since passed, but she was so funny on her own, but also so great with Bob Newhart. And then Bob was telling a story and it was getting late. And then she just said, all right, Newhart, let's wrap it up. And I thought, wow, she's like Liza. I love this. This is what we need. We need partners who
know how to control you.
Control us.
Boundaries.
Shut it down. What about your
Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy has a great sense of humor and can make me laugh, but he's not funny. He's funny in a different way. Yeah, like what you were saying.
Right.
And, I mean, I never understand these two comic couples.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, please. I never dated a comic. To me, that would be a nightmare.
No, it would be,
I've seen them. They exist.
They're out there.
They are out there.
They're out there.
Does it work? Have you seen a comedy couple where it works?
I stay away from them because they scare me.
Yeah.
I'm not that close
They're
with
like,
them.
and then the other one's like,
Could you
oh, yeah,
imagine
well,
that? But people will say to my husband all the time, is she funny at home? Or they'll ask, does she scream and yell at you? And it was, what kind of stupid question is that? Like I walk around acting like Susie Green and dressed like her and screaming at him and kicking him the fuck out of the house? What kind of marriage would that be? It's fiction.
You know what I love? I love you yelling at Larry, but I think because I came up with Jeff Garlin and we shared an apartment back in Chicago in the day.
That whole concept
We've known each other forever. So I took particular joy when you would go after Jeff. You fat fuck.
Yeah.
And I would be crying laughing.
But Larry kind of saved me. As the seasons went on, he would save me more and more for him.
Right.
Less and less for Jeff.
Right.
He would
Right.
relish that. The man loves to be yelled and screamed at.
Yeah.
I mean, loves it. He lives for it.
Well, also, he knows there's this great secret. I mean, who did it better than, we're going way back there, but I talk about this sometimes, Jack Benny, and Carson did it so well. But I learned a long time ago, you can get big laughs by just reacting and looking a little sad and downtrodden when it's appropriate. And so Larry's so good at when he's being eviscerated, that the way his face falls.
Yeah.
And the way he just has to, and I think also Jeff Garlin would just look, oh God, I just have to take it because I just got downtrodden. I got busted. Susie knows.
Well, they did such stupid shit too.
I know.
It's like people would ask me questions. Is it hard to get that angry? No, he's stealing my kid's doll's head. He's stealing my kid's dog.
Right.
He's getting her drunk. He's getting us kicked out of a country club. He's stealing a salad dressing recipe. It's not like a big method acting thing I gotta do. You just have to be in the scene, and it's like, look what these fucking assholes are doing now.
Okay, so I'm getting this image of your life, but you're also very enterprising. You've been in movies, you've been in television.
Yes.
You're always on the go. You're
Hello.
always. Flula is slowly but surely taking over the world. Yes.
Well, as a German, that's illegal, and I would never admit to this. I have
taken what I meant. I didn't mean to imply anything. I'm saying you are
invading.
You are, invading media with your.
I'm subtly gathering stamps on my passport, fully legally and with everyone's consent.
You are blitzkrieging Hollywood with your talent.
Nope, I am just very subtly showing up with a cake and a smile.
A massive air show of talent. No. You are
daintily prancing around.
Yeah.
Now, I had the pleasure of going to Berlin with you. Remember when we were in Berlin together?
I remember this, yes.
And this was fascinating for me because I got to see you in your home environment.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot of the German people are very comfortable with nudity.
Oh, very much, yes.
And you seemed very comfortable with nudity too.
I'm also German, so I'm part of this Venn diagram you have just described.
Now, I, as for example, not comfortable with my nudity at any time.
You did not enjoy having your penis exposed on the beach?
No, I wear a full-on formal tuxedo when I take a shower. But you on the other hand, I noticed very comfortable with it. Have you tried that here in the States? And what's the reaction been?
Oh, exposing my genitalia in
just
public?
walking. Yeah, I don't mean just genitalia, but I mean letting your body be free of all clothing. Have you been nude in America, and how has that gone over for you?
It has gone in awkward ways. I try to. Have you seen the show Austin Powers and the Murder Mystery Man? Oh, I don't know the name. International Man of Mystery. Yeah, in the beginnings, it is the credits. He is always like turning around. Oh, maybe we will see his pee-pee, but no, it's a broccoli. And then he turns around and he's like, "What is that? Oh, it's an M1 Abrams tank or something." And so this is how I try to present it to myself in America, because I know everyone is terrified of nudity here.
Okay. Well, I don't know if they're terrified of it, but it can be inappropriate quickly. I'm told you boarded an American Airlines flight completely nude. That's the kind of thing that's not cool.
I was wearing flip-flops, so okay. So it's inaccurate.
Okay, well, the news accounts I read did not mention the flip-flops.
Well, you didn't read deep enough, or they are terrible reporters.
Okay, well, this was the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. These are fine papers.
Oh, Nicholas Kristof. Okay, yeah, okay, much respect. Yeah, okay.
He apparently was sitting in the row opposite you.
Yeah, well, we are no longer on speaking terms.
Okay.
So.
You were friends until you boarded his flight
until
naked.
I just heard this news of my flip-flops being omitted.
In general, you're doing well? Life is good?
Oh, I am absolutely terrible, Conan.
Why?
Well, the world is on fire.
Everyone,
people
always say that. Really?
Mathematically, no one that is now alive will be alive in 222 years.
Oh, my God, I didn't realize that.
Now, just think about this.
I made all these plans.
I know. So now you have to execute those plans immediately. Do it all tomorrow. Don't wait what they say. Wait tomorrow, and it's too late for today to make it. So you should have it. You should do it now.
I can't believe that hasn't been a poster.
I think Benjamin Franklin, no?
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin, as he was stroking out, said that.
Yes.
Don't put to tomorrow what today can be done the other day.
So
if you go forward another
too
day.
Late. And then please relight my stove, and there's some lightning.
There's a storm coming. Someone tie a key to a kite.
Tie a key and make me an omelet.
Let me ask you something. How familiar are you with American history? Do you consider yourself? I mean, you've come to this country. We welcome you with open arms, as America does. Yeah. Sometimes, but. Do you consider yourself an American citizen now? Do you think you're comfortable in these ways?
I am very confused every time about everything, but I'm also very excited. I love to learn. I'm like a sponge. You can just dump things into me, Conan.
You don't dump things into a sponge. A sponge sort of goes over the... It's an inaccurate metaphor.
Yeah, and you added a U to the sponge just now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt Gourley.
Oh, see?
Jesus.
I took your U and added it to sponge.
So I'm Gourley again.
Okay, it's Gourley and Sponge.
All right. Okay, so...
A wonderful tag team detective show. Yeah.
Gourley and
they
Sponge.
Took the U from Gourley and added it to Sponge.
Yeah.
So it's Gourley and Sponge.
Better than Thelma and Louise.
Whenever I'm done speaking to you, I'm very stupid at the end.
Also.
And you don't get smarter.
By speaking to myself, never.
No. To me, when I'm done speaking to you, I'm very dumb always. I'm going to go home. I'll probably have to be driven home because I'm not safe to drive after speaking to you because I'm so stupid.
Yes, I get it. So, Conan, when other people speak to me, it's like, people like, oh, you should have your teapot open and ready to receive more tea. But I have the top is on.
What?
So if you put...
I don't understand at all.
Imagine a submarine.
Yeah. How do we get to a submarine?
Imagine how many liquids and waters and airs enter a submarine.
Yes.
That is my brain when we speak.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
I'm going to change the topic.
Okay.
To your topic I was trying to talk about, which is you and America. What about this country confuses you?
A lot of this much driving, not much. Do you have a burp? Is that a fart?
I just burped.
Oh, okay.
I just quietly burped. I'm drinking a lot of water, and I just burped into the little microphone.
But you also leaned up a bit, so I didn't.
Well, I wanted you to see that I was burping.
But so that was purely burp. That was not a toot burp.
I can't do the both at the same time.
You can't.
I mean, I'd be in the almanac if I could do that.
That's a flurp. Yes.
What's that?
A flart and a blurb.
Okay, now I'm so stupid, my heart's not beating. You've just taken me down to. baseline activities that are run by the cortex are gone.
Yes, you're in the 7th level of the Titanic. You're just shoveling that coal, but no cuisines are being cooked.
You do you like America?
It is very enjoyable to me. I feel very lucky. I have received a career thanks to you and also other Americans who have employed me. So vielen Dank and thank you, Conan. Christopher, is it correct? O'Brien.
Conan Christopher O'Brien. Very good. That is my name.
I've
Yes.
Googled you.
Yes. Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you are a comedian and also a host.
A host.
Yeah.
Do you also say ghost?
Ja, Ghost.
Ghost and host.
A ghost. Ja,
Okay.
ja.
Geist.
Ein Gespenst.
Ja.
Ja. Geist is like your spirits and
Das ist
Gespenst
Geist.
is an actual small. Ja.
Kannst wir sprechen auf Deutsch?
Ja, wenn du willst, na klar.
So, roter Kopf kann nicht verstehen.
Ja, der versteht nichts,
Ja.
überhaupt nichts.
Okay,
Ja,
guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the odd man out at the UN. What's going on here?
We were
Well,
saying, can we talk so that you can understand?
Oh, very nice. Well,
Yeah.
that's some real hospitality there.
Das war nicht nett. Sorry, Bangladesh. Yes.
Now, how much German do you speak?
Nur ein bisschen Deutsch,
Ein bisschen.
aber nicht sehr gut.
Kleben. Well, I'm joining in. I
So,
also
hast du es nicht
am frequent-
verstanden?
Nein, nicht verstehen Sie nicht.
Oh, Grieb. Ich denke, dass Krod
Guter Klieben,
Frechtenstadt.
Glaunten, Globen?
Okay, if you're going to make stupid
Offspring
nonsense,
references, this
yeah,
is rude.
That's
Def
rude.
Leppard.
Okay, well, that's just nonsense. Do you mind if I go back to speaking real
Sorry.
German?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a real conversation.
Yes. Schade.
Na klar.
Es kreet ein und da frage das breekt ein das oder der BMW oder der Bavarian Schnall. Echt stond der Falki und Faldo.
Falco, ja.
And ost Grebdion
klar.
biegt dort Rieden
Oh, schön.
schlecht.
Ja, wenn du wirklich willst, machen wir das auf jeden Fall. Das ist wirklich schön.
Kleben.
Flaubern. Klöben-Tiep.
So that's how it's done, Gourley. And the next time you feel
Es tut mir
like
leid.
No, incorrect.
no, okay.
No longer speaking
Lost.
German.
No. Otto Preminger.
Oh, na klar. Of course. Ja, bist gut about.
Yeah.
En Friedrich.
Colonel Klink.
Oh, Maschi Masch.
You know what? I don't think we can put ads on this episode because
no one's listening anymore.
No, I think we have to contact all the advertisers and say you don't want to waste your money on this episode because absolutely nothing is happening. When you say you're a workaholic, let's unpack that.
I didn't know
for
that
a
was
second.
I didn't know we were gonna.
Well, I know. I'm just.
I wish I hadn't said it.
No, but I'm just curious.
It was sort of just a light thing I said. No, I'm kidding.
Lighting.
I'm kidding. Let's get into it.
But you really like to work.
Yes, I do like to work.
And that is, to me, you could say sometimes. I don't know. One of the hacks in life, or one of the tricks, is you take something about yourself that could be a problem, but if you can tame it and use it in just the right amount, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so I like to work.
Yeah, and there's so many different types of ways to work in entertainment. So anytime you're like, "Oh, I have time off," you're like, "Am I gonna go right over here in this place?" Right? Like, that's what's so fun to me is like I had last weekend off, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah! I finally have some time off from the show. I'm gonna go write stand up for 4 hours at a coffee shop," and that felt like rest to me. Which it's not. It's still work. I know Sona's looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm not. It's just, that's not who I am.
Yeah. Sona's like, do they have croissants? The ones with chocolate?
Oh.
Well, not being productive isn't restful for me.
Yeah, no.
I think is what it is. So you're like, well, why would I do nothing when I'm not going to enjoy it fully? Like I got right after I got the after midnight job, I got mono, and I was sick for like 2 months, and I had to like film the special in the first 2 weeks. But then once the special was filmed, I had like a few weeks where I was just doing nothing, and me and my writing partner like finished a script in that time because I was like, I have 3 good hours in the middle of the day, and we can get on Zoom. So I'll wake up at noon, and then we can hop on from like 1 to 3, and then I go back to bed at 4. And we got a lot done, and it was really and it's awesome, and I felt great about it. But if I'd just been laying there healing.
Sucks. Just got closer to death. Nothing to show for
You
it.
just totally insulted your own immune system. Your immune system's like, wait a minute, what? Whatever.
Everybody's like, some people get over it in like 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, if they stay down, I guess. But I had stuff to do.
Yeah. If you drink liquids, I haven't had a liquid in six months. I think it's really like I know when I'm having productive relaxation, if I'm traveling or if I'm doing something fun and really enjoying myself or out to a great dinner. I know I'm not working, but I also know in some way this is feeding me.
Yeah.
And then there's this myth of, hey, chill.
Yeah.
Don't work, chill. And I don't know. I've never been able to chill. I don't know how to chill.
I have terrible news. It's not a myth. It works for some people.
Does it really?
It really does. I've seen it happen.
You've seen people actually chill?
Yeah, I've seen people spend a whole day reading, and I'm like,
you're
what?
sitting with the two chill chums.
We're real chill, both of us. I think you're chill too.
Of you. I'm
admittedly,
suspicious
I think you're
of
right.
you, Matt. I don't think
I'm
you're
half and half. I need to work for a few hours to feel like I've earned it.
Yes.
But then once
Yeah.
I've done that, I feel like, oh, I've earned this. I could chill.
But I think the exception is Sona, who does not need to work hard
she's
to
a chill
earn
master.
it.
And
It's actually, you know what? You're saying that in a way where you feel like I feel like you're trying to insult me.
No, I'm describing
But
you to the
that
police.
is
That's
true.
an
I
accurate
think you're my
description.
queen.
I mean, when you say you do a show all week and then you do stand up, it just boggles my mind. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, it
how much
depends the type.
stamina that is.
I mean, doing Largo is different than like traveling somewhere. Like Largo's like, oh, this is so nice and relaxing, and
It's
everyone hears
great.
a comedy. Oh my god, yeah. I was talking to Flanny about you actually because he was saying he's like, you never know what's gonna happen with the show. He's like, I bought this place when I was 30, and I thought maybe I'd only do it for 5 years, and here we are, 30 years later. He's like, Conan told me he thought he was gonna be out of the business, in a few
Right.
years, and I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, so you never know, and we'll see. And you're like, yeah, I mean.
Flanny has no right talking about me.
that was rude. Yeah.
I mean, don't you think?
That was
That's
rude.
sort of, yeah. No,
Slander.
no.
And that's what I
Flanny's
said.
the guy
I said,
that
do
runs.
you even know Conan?
Flanny, yeah, he does not. I don't know any Flanny. Flanny's this. He runs Largo, which is really one of the best live venues in Los Angeles, and I only say that because this podcast goes out to other realms, but it is every comedian's favorite room to be in. Sometimes it can almost give you a deceptive read.
Yeah.
Because you can go to Largo, and sometimes I feel like you can read out of the phone book and you'll get some really solid laughs.
Yeah.
And you'll think, this phone book thing's killer. I'm taking this out on the road. And then you get killed.
Yeah. Well,
So-
that's the problem with once people come to see you on purpose. You're like, do you really like it? So you have to kind of adjust your expectations.
See you on purpose. I love
Yeah,
that.
see you on purpose. People were tricked into watching me do stand up for years. They're like, we came for chicken fingers and a male comedian. We had no idea. We were just finishing a day at the mall. How dare you bamboozle us, funny bone?
There were so many times I said to my wife, let's go out for chicken fingers and a male comedian. And then, Laurie Kilmartin would come out and I'd go, what the fuck? What's a lady doing up there? And this doesn't taste like chicken.
And I was like a child on top of it. So I saw the disappointment on people's faces, which is why getting on your show was so huge because it helped me headline places and it helped me to have a solid clip. Like it wasn't like it is now where everyone has a camera. Like getting a late night clip was something that really made people go, oh, you're a real comic, and people might come see you on the road just because you've done Conan. And like, all right, well, Conan let her on for 5 minutes. We'll see. Like that was the type of person who was coming to see me for years.
Well, you talk about these different eras. To sound like an old man, I came from an era where when I debuted in 1993, there's no internet. There's there's no streaming. There's there's 4 networks.
There's no teleprompters.
Yeah, there's no teleprompters. They were steam powered. They weren't good. They exploded all the time.
There's someone on a bike behind it.
Someone's
Yeah.
pedaling it. Welcome to the show. Have speed it up there, Myron. I'm trying.
Shoveling coal into
But when you talk about people seeing you on purpose, there was a solid I don't know, I want to say 2-3 years there where it was on and there wasn't much else to do at 12:30 at night. So today there's a billion things you can watch. And I was part of this era where people would come up to me on the street and say, you know, I didn't want to watch you. They wouldn't say that exactly, but it was clear that was not the plan. I didn't want to do that, but I developed this rash. They gave me a medication and the cream has to be applied. And so I had to get up at 12:30 and reapply the cream. I turned on the TV and you're there. I didn't like it, but after 9 days and 9 cream applyings, I was like, you know what? He's got something. And I thought, oh my God. I mean, I literally, so many new moms with newborns would say to me, this is back in the early 90s, you know, I'm a huge fan. I would have to get up and breastfeed. And you were on, you know, I watched it for 4 solid weeks and I didn't get it, but now I love you. And I would think that wouldn't happen today.
No.
You're not I mean, America was forced to put up with my shit for a number of years. They had no choice. And then they were like, all right, I guess the hair can stay.
America was like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Taylor Tomlinson, and I feel thrilled about being Conan O'Brien's
That's really
friend.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Thank you
I'm
so
trying
much.
to think how long we've known each other. We talked about this last time, but we went on tour together.
Mm-hmm.
You were very young. I mean, you're still really young, especially. Yeah, you are. What are you talking about?
I'm 30. I feel like it's over, right?
Okay.
30's not like
Well,
young anymore, is it?
to me, it is. You're an embryo. You are a frozen egg, as far as I'm concerned.
I just have to keep clearing milestones in order for people to think I'm young. They're like, "You're young for like a late night host." And I'm like,
Yes.
"Okay, that's
There you
true."
go. Yeah.
I watched your first episode this morning on YouTube.
Oh, that's right.
Because you were 30, right?
I had just turned 30.
Yeah, same. And you had the little calendar, and it was September 1993.
Yep.
So 6 weeks before I was born.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, see, I think that puts into context just how young you are. That my career, my show started 6 months before you were born. But I remembered you having, I was really impressed with, I mean, obviously you had just amazing material, but you would march out there and you were at the time 20, 21, it was a long time ago.
I was 24, I think.
Okay,
and
24.
I had done your show.
You
when
had
I was
done, no,
23.
you had done my show, but
Yeah.
you marched out, killed it, walked off stage, was really sick.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed, just so impressed with you. And so I said this to you in the hall and I said to myself, say that again on mic, but I want to congratulate you for like 15 things because you've just did your 3rd Netflix special. You have a late night show. People have found you. You made this whole thing happen. I'm so happy for you. I want to start on that like nice note, and then we'll devolve into petty grievances.
That's so nice. That's really lovely.
But also you're terrific. You're absolutely fantastic. And I was just, I don't know. I'm just, everything that's been happening for you, I just am watching now from the sidelines and just saying, oh my God, yes, go Taylor, go. This is totally deserved. This is the right, all the best things are happening to someone good. And that doesn't always happen.
Oh, that's really nice. We're going to cut all this out, right?
No,
I'm deeply uncomfortable.
No, we're not
with all these
recording.
compliments.
We're
Oh,
not recording.
terrific. Okay,
I don't even
great.
mean any of this. I'm practicing for someone I really like.
We have real stars coming on later this week. This is sort of a warm-up ep for me.
This is for one of the Wayans brothers. You know, I've just got this whole thing memorized. I don't even know which one. It kind of can go with any Wayans.
When you were doing your show, did you ever have episodes where you're like, oh, thank God, I'm not nervous to talk to this person at all? Like, however this goes, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I can talk shop with you, which I love. I mean, there's so many things to talk about. I loved the special that you just did for Netflix and thought there were so many, it's so many great jokes and about, it's very you, which is it's just a huge compliment. Like
That's really
so much of
nice.
your comedy comes from just you, your experience, the way you put things. You had this thing that you said at one point my brother is trans, my sister is gay, and I identify as afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought,
well, you really watched it.
Yeah, no, I was.
You started. You're like, it was great. It was so you, and I'm like, me might not have watched it.
You tell a story in your special that, and I don't want to. I'm wary sometimes to not give away stuff, but you tell a story that's really funny about Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching it and I was really laughing because you're talking about how he's like a surreal, ethereal creature,
Mm-hmm.
Not of this earth. And I have my own Hugh Jackman story, which is not part of a Netflix special. I've pitched it many times.
You'll get there.
No.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
They said, I think the quote is "no appetite for Conan." On the algorithm, but no, I've already given it away, but I was in a gym. I was in Atlanta on some job and in a hotel, and I found out they had a gym, and I'm like, I don't want to go, I'm trying to take care of myself lately. I'm going to hit the gym, and I'm always inordinately proud of myself when I can hit the gym when I'm on the road or something.
Yeah.
So I hit the gym, and there's this machine where it sort of helps lift you up, but you're kind of using your body weight, but not all your body weight. You know that one? And you're kind of going up and down and you're working your lats. And I'm like, I'm doing a really, and then in my peripheral vision, became aware that someone was doing what I was doing, but twice as fast and without the assistance of the little hydraulic thing, like, and I look over and I swear to God, it's Hugh Jackman. And he's lifting his own body weight. And he's got this perfect V-shaped torso, and he is the handsomest man you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And he turns to me and he recognizes me because he'd been on the show a couple of times. He's just like, "Hey, how are you, Conan? Good to see you." But didn't even break his stride. And I had a little hydraulic thing going like, "I'll help you."
I'm picturing him with his Wolverine claws out as well.
Yeah. And I just looked at his body and looked at mine. I think I called it quits. And I think I tried to see if they would open the bar at 10 in the morning. But I mean, there's so many things in your special that I could relate to. And I think the thing that I love so much about your comedy is that you are so brutally honest, but it's always to a purpose, and it always makes me feel better and feels like I know you better. Do you know what I mean?
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Again,
that's
this will all
really
come
lovely.
out. This was for Damon.
We'll get rid of
That's for Damon Wayans.
That's so nice. That's really, really nice.
There's so much we can.
I know. It's like hard to know where to start. I mean, I also have a lot of questions.
Well, I would love you to ask questions
Yeah.
because those are some of my favorite interviews because it's about me.
Right.
And how do I feel about Conan? I love him. He's great. I love
No,
being
you
on.
don't.
What's that? Oh, that's true. I have a lot of misgivings about Conan. But
you are a lovely name drop for me. When people are like, "Yeah, I love Conan," I'm like, and then I just put on sunglasses and start swirling wine, and I'm like, he's exactly what you want him to be. He's just a great guy. And they're like, Conan? I'm like, yeah,
We
went on tour.
We went on tour
Yeah,
together. We went on tour together. We had some really good times. We did some times on a bus. I remember us being in a bus rolling into Chicago. But it was just fantastic. Like that's my biggest observation about you that I would say to anybody who asks me about you. I think, like I say, I think you came on my late night show when you were 24, I think, or 23.
Yeah.
I went on tour with you maybe a year or so later, and I thought it just felt to me like you arrived fully formed, completely like you had it all. It's not like, well, I saw you when that banana is still kind of green. It needs a little more time. Like, no. You were just ready to go.
That's so nice. And
It's
what
true.
a great transition. Have it all streaming on Netflix. Had it all, have it all. We'll probably lose it all. Hi, my name is Taylor Tomlinson, and I feel braggadocious about being
Nice.
Conan O'Brien's friend.
That's a very good one. I
That
like
is a
that.
really good one.
Try bragging about it, though. It's not going to
Oh,
get
I
you far.
have.
Oh, you have?
Oh, I have. Yeah, I sent it to my sibling group chat this morning.
Oh, nice.
Which is very active. And my youngest sister wrote back in all caps, "Holy fucking shit. Say hi to Sona for me. I love her so much. And Matt, my idols." And then in lowercase, love Conan too.
Oh, that was a body blow. That was a punch. That was a punch to the solar plexus. And I wasn't prepared for it, so all the wind has gone out of me now.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's. I get it. I get it.
No, it's very helpful because a lot of people ask, like, have you done any cool shows? Like when people don't know that you're successful, they're like, have you done any cool gigs? And you're like, kind of. And going on tour with you is always my answer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's really nice.
We had a blast.
It was so much fun.
I don't know what your memories are of that, but I'll just bring people up to date. We did I want to say this was before COVID, not
2018.
2018, and maybe the cause of COVID. We're not sure.
There's
the Wuhan theory, and then there's the Conan tour theory. And
it was weird you had a lab on the private jet.
I'm constantly doing experiments with weird viruses.
You're like, is that a bat, Conan? You're like, just work on your set.
Yeah, hey, tighten up that ending. Okay, why don't you worry about your stuff and let me worry about these bat viruses that I'm concocting. Yeah, we all have hobbies, okay?
What's your hobby?
Yeah, that's my hobby. Yeah, I need to be more careful about keeping that shit in the lab. But anyway, we went on this tour, and I remember my distinct memory of you was, I would say most of the audiences were really good.
Yeah.
They were really terrific audiences wherever we went. But I remember you just being absolutely fearless in a way that blew me away because you're so young.
Oh, thank you.
And I was very impressed. I was like, this person doesn't know fear or is not showing it that you have fear. But you would go out there and you would kill it, and you had a sense of purpose that I found to be incredibly impressive.
Oh, that's so nice.
You know, you're like a third my age, and I just was blown away by that. You know,
Yeah.
I've actually done the math.
Have you?
Yeah. I'm 79, and you were 11 on that tour. So
yeah, I was like, is Conan 90?
You're gonna really love her. Unlike some of us, she didn't fight in the Korean War.
Yeah, I think I was 24 at the time. And what I've found is that if you start really young, people are very impressed with you, even if you are trash. So who knows how good I actually was, but it's like when you see like a dog skateboard and you're like, he's not supposed to be able to do that. You're like, is he a good skateboarder? It's like, no, he's a dog, but he's doing it.
He's doing it.
Yeah, which is more than we ever thought he could do.
I'm not going to say you were a dog on a skateboard. I'm not going to say that. You're a hilarious comedian, and one of the things that impressed me is we talked a bunch of times, and your work ethic and the I don't want to say pressure you put on yourself, but you have a very high standard, which I found to be incredibly impressive.
Oh, thank you. Well, again, when you're younger in this business, I think you get certain opportunities when you're young and you want to prove that you're worthy of them. So that's certainly an aspect of it that contributed to that pressure. And then also I just, want to be really good at my job. I think it's more fun when you're really good. But yeah, I mean, that tour was so insane because I remember like the first night, maybe we all had dinner and you like pulled me aside afterward and made a point to be like, hey, just so you know, really glad you're here. You deserve to be here. Like, you kind of picked up on my imposter syndrome, I feel like.
Right.
And made a point to be very encouraging, which I think you did with everyone, I've heard.
Not with Funches.
Well, he's very confident.
Yeah, he's an imposter. I was like, look, I know we all feel like we're imposters, but you Funches. No, I absolutely, I'm picking on this guy because I absolutely adore him. But
he's so good.
First of all, you showed up for the tour and you were sick.
Oh, yeah. This was back when it was impressive to push through an illness.
Yes.
This was, again, 2018. I think I had like the flu the first leg of the tour, and I came back the second week, and everyone was like, nice to meet you. Because the first week, I was just in so much pain. I was trying not to even drink water because we were on a private jet with Conan O'Brien, and I'm like, I can't be in this bathroom.
Can I say the most impressive thing? Yes, we got a jet for certain legs of the trip, to get us from here to there. But the economics of the tour was, this is how it's going to work. If there's 11 of us on a private plane, this can all work. So we did that, and about halfway through the tour, I remember you guys saying, so Conan, when you bought this jet, did you and how did you pick out this wood grain? And I said, wait, what? And you guys were like, when you bought this jet. And I remembered, I think I was saying to you, I said, this is not my jet.
Yeah.
We're leasing this jet for this tour because the tour is helping to pay for it. But I fly commercial. I don't have a jet. And I said to you, what made you think that I have a jet? And you said, well, you've been on television my whole life. And I'm like, so therefore you must have a jet. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
No, my jet is American Airlines. Hi, American.
I remember thinking,
like a little less straight.
Conan doesn't have a private jet. Who the fuck does?
Well, I say, like, this is a thing with me, as I see people, and I know that it's a big sign of success with like Instagram people and influencers that you fly around on a private jet. And I always tell people, do you know what that shit costs?
Oh, yeah.
And none of your children will ever go to college if you're flying around on those things. It's not going to happen. So I'm very happy to hitch a ride with someone, or if the tour will pay for it, great. It's lovely. But I just knew when there was that moment where you guys were like, oh, so Conan's jet's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah. We all thought that was your jet.
I should have kept my mouth shut, too.
Yeah, you should have.
And I should have worn a big fur coat the whole time.
You should have. I remember, too, we were all scared to take the photo in front of the jet, but we wanted it, obviously. The minute we saw the jet, we were like, we're all going to get a picture in front of this jet, right?
Right.
But we were like, it has to be a group photo. We have to time it. So I think we waited till like the last day, maybe, of the first leg. And I remember Ron was the one who was like, yeah, we're taking a picture in front of the jet, of course. And we were like, oh, thank God. Okay, let's just do it. And we were also like, can we ask Conan to be in the photo? Is that okay? Like,
right.
I don't know if but I guess Flula probably knew you the best of anybody, but I had only met you for moments on your show.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what you were going to be like. And I remember thinking just like, why is Conan like hanging out with us? Like,
did your respect for me plummet?
Oh, yeah, of course. The veil was pulled back, and I said, maybe he's not as talented as I thought he was if he's rubbing shoulders with us.
I was raised in a religious household, very Catholic, but Catholicism, they can play it fast and loose, you know. You were raised in a very Christian environment. And your early work in comedy was sort of in Christian comedy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I started in churches when I was 16 because you can't go up in clubs until you're 18. So
right.
I hadn't been in a comedy club until I turned 18. And once I did, I was like, oh, this is like where comedy's supposed to happen.
Not in church.
Not in church, as it turns out. But, you know, I think that maybe that was good as a foundation. I worked really clean for like the first 6 years probably that I did stand-up. And then when I turned 22, I actually got fired from a church gig opening for a big church comic because of something that I tweeted that ended up being a joke that I did on your show.
But this is the joke that got you sort of kicked out of the Christian comedy circuit. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it was like the last church gig that I was still doing was opening for this guy, and they called me and were like, hey, like, you can't be tweeting stuff like this. Like, that's not good for our audience.
Can you tell us the joke?
The joke was,
even today, I'm, as an adult, very sexually conservative. Not that I'm bad at sex, okay? I'll have you know, in bed, I am a wild animal, all right? Yeah, way more afraid of you than you are of me.
That's such a good joke.
And I was so happy that it ended up on your show.
Yeah.
Because in my first late night set on your show, which was like, by the way, all I wanted for years was to have a Conan set.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was maybe the first moment that I felt like, oh, I might be a real comedian now. It was like, that's what I wanted for the first half of my career, like the first 6 years. And then once I got that, I was like, okay, we can set some other goals now. But that is literally all I wanted to do. And then after that, all I wanted to do was tour theaters. And now I've done that. And so now everyone's like, what do you want to do now? I'm like, I think I did everything.
I'm done.
I did Conan and this tour.
I'm 26 and it's over. Yeah, you tweet that joke out. They got upset. Mm-hmm. But I maintain that the limitations are great. I think limitations are underrated. Whether the limitations are self-imposed or imposed by your environment, it's really good for you in a way because you had to work clean and you had to work within this very specialized environment So you weren't taking a bunch of shortcuts that I think a lot of other people would take, especially at a young age.
Yeah, I think that's true. But then also, coming up in church, I don't think you're exposed to as much stand-up as you are when you're doing open mics and clubs in a bigger city.
Right.
Because then you're more aware of like what's already been done and what's kind of a hacky premise. And doing in church gigs, nobody's really worried about that because it's such a small, sheltered scene, I suppose you could say. So, you know, I look back on it and I think in some ways it was really good. I was also going up in front of like hundreds of people for 15 minutes and a lot of times getting money. And I'm like, this is stupid. That should not have been happening at all. But by the time
was the money good? Is the money
church money's amazing.
Do they take
really good.
Do they pay you like in ones and is it right from the collection plate?
I mean, look, they put it in your G-string, but it's blessed. The ones are damp with holy water. No,
I was paid in communion wafers for my first 3 years.
You get a lot of free wine. You get a lot of... That's what's so crazy is like I had to have a conversation with my team, my manager and agents where I was like, I can't do churches anymore. And they were like, what about this money? And I was like, I can't. Like I'm being dishonest with them because I'm not a Christian anymore and I'm not going to be clean all the time anymore. I'm going to speak how I speak in clubs and talk about what I want to talk about. And if you are a comedian performing in churches, they want you to be that all the time. Yeah. And that's why they're all, you know, middle-aged married guys because they're Christian and that's their lifestyle and they talk about their family and going to church and, you know, good for them. That's who should be doing it. But I didn't want to be somebody who was pretending to be something that I wasn't for some sort of success or financial stability. But yeah, the money was really good and you're kind of like, yikes. Like, so then I just did like 8 cruise ships the next year to make up for it.
So you went from Christianity to cruise ships.
I have done, sometimes I feel like an imposter and then I go, I've done literally every gig that you could possibly do. Like I've done churches, I've done corporates, I've done clubs, I've done colleges, I have done cruise ships. I have done everything. And I'm glad that I have because now I know there are so many different ways you can make a living as a stand-up. I mean, when I did cruise ships, I was miserable. I could not have done more than I did. But the guys doing these cruise ships, they're happy. That's their life. They're like, in 3 months, I have a land gig. I'm like, a land gig? I gotta get out of here.
It's a way different. The bar is very different.
Yes.
To be on land. What? In 6 months, terra firma. Yeah. No, but you know, the nightmare that I've always heard about cruise ships, and I've never performed on a cruise ship.
You'll get there.
I'll get there. Trust me. I know my trajectory all too well. I will be on a cruise ship, but
you'll be on a cool like Illuminati cruise ship, though.
Yes,
for like celebrities.
Yes, where the real money is.
Yes.
They'll all be wearing robes.
Yes.
I'll be nude. But
why?
That's my preference. That was not anything they requested. When other people are wearing robes, I want to be nude. But no, the horror apparently of working on a cruise ship is that if it doesn't go well, you are trapped with the audience for 6 more days.
Yep.
I've spoken to comedians who it didn't go well, and so they stayed in their room the rest of the time because if it doesn't go well at a club or in a theater, you're gone, you move on. You literally get out of town the next day. This is quite a different experience where you're trying to go get your spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
And you're in line and the people on either side of you hate your fucking face.
Yeah, I would sleep all day until about 5 o'clock, which was right when the buffet opened. And then I would get to the buffet right when it opened. So there weren't a lot of people there yet. And I would eat very quickly and I would put some fruit in a purse. And then I would go back to my room and I'd squirrel that away. And then I would go do the shows and then, you know, go back to my room and then wait for everyone to go to sleep. And then I would like go to the gym and walk around the ship while it was empty and everyone was sleeping. I can't believe I got depressed on these, right?
What? I'm always obsessed with where the good crowds are. Are the crowds pretty good?
Royal Caribbean.
Are the crowds on a Royal Caribbean decent?
Yes, they are. Because the ones that I did, at least, they had a comedy club on the ship, which is, it feels like a comedy club in like Toontown, where it's like, this is what a comedy club looks like, but it's like,
Right.
And you only had to do like 25 minutes with another comedian, and it's free. It's one of the free things you can do on the cruise ship because it's all inclusive. So it was like, by the end of the week, everyone had, like, most of the people were coming twice. So like the first half of the week, these guys would have the 25 minutes they did, and then the second half of the week, they would have like the ship 25 that they did, which was all about what ports we stopped in and like the buffet and all their ship jokes.
Yeah. Diarrhea.
Yeah, of course.
You got to get to diarrhea.
Who's got the Imodium, right? And it was, but I did some that there was no comedy club. You were just in like the piano bar, and you would perform stand-up, and it felt weird, and people were walking in and out, and there were kids at some. And so like Royal Caribbean was one that when I did it, they had a comedy club. It was adults only, and you only had to do 25 minutes as opposed to like 45 or something. So I only did maybe like 7 weeks of it, and not consecutively, but by the end I was like, these are the only ones I want to do.
There are things that are important for me to know, which is that everybody has imposter syndrome, and if you don't have it, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, then you're a narcissist.
Yeah, and I'm a narcissist.
Just happy. I don't know. There's some healthy people probably. This is what people in show business always do, though. We always go, I mean, everybody feels terrible, right? And then you meet some healthy people, and you're like, so did anything bad happen to you? And they're like, not really. And you're just like, what?
I was quite happy as a child.
Yeah.
I hate it when I meet someone who's really funny, who was a great athlete and
good
looking.
I hate that shit.
And because I'm just enraged, I'm like, no. This is my consolation prize.
Yeah.
I got this because I didn't have any of the other stuff. Yeah. And now you're telling me that, oh, no, I mean, I got recruited. It was either male model or football quarterback, and I decided comedy.
Yeah.
And it's just gone well ever since.
I don't want quarterbacks making callbacks successfully.
Nicely.
Thank you. I wasn't athletic. That's why I'm able to give you gems like that. That's a marching band side effect. I dislike people who are, too happy and healthy and symmetrical, and I do try to dig for the trauma in their childhood so that I can like them as people, which is my issue, and I know that, and we're working through it.
In your last special, Look at You, you talk a lot about things, darker periods of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably something, if you look at your trajectory, you couldn't have accessed that stuff earlier on in your career. I know your mom.
I tried.
Your mom passed when you were 8. 8?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, sorry about that.
That's all right.
God damn. That has to have had a momentous effect on you.
Oh yeah, I think for sure. Because anytime you succeed in some way, you get a Conan set, or you get on Netflix or what have you, or even personal things, there is a degree of sadness to it, because you go, oh man, like the person that you would love to be here isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like trying to impress somebody who doesn't exist anymore. Like you don't realize that until you're older. You're like, maybe I do a joke about it and Look at You. I'm like, do you think I'd be this successful if I had a live mom? Because I really don't. Like, I saw my grandma recently, and she was like, your mom would think this was so cool. She'd be in the front row. And I'm like, I wouldn't be doing this if mom was here.
You don't think you would be?
I don't know. I don't know that I would be, because I sort of fell into it in high school, and maybe I would have, but I don't know. I think I probably would have just ended up being like a drama teacher or something, and getting married or what. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just, it's impossible to know, but I think about it a lot, where I go, oh man, it's so sad that she's not here to see it, but also if she was here, my life would have taken an entirely different road. So.
And you have been pretty open about your mental health, things that you're doing to try and cope, take care of yourself, deal with it, which is something we end up talking about a lot on this show, because, oh, there we go.
I couldn't. They were moving the drink away from me.
Yeah,
because I kept hitting it with my hand.
Well, also, our main sponsor is an iced tea. You have an iced coffee, and we're not allowed to ever show or admit that iced coffee exists.
Oh yeah, and I kept jostling it like a goddamn unprofessional child.
And I love that we're in the middle of talking about this trauma in your childhood. And Adam Sachs runs over and moves an iced coffee away from you.
You know what it felt like? It felt like you guys were like, you're not being that funny. No. And we're gonna take something away from you until you get back on
If you
track.
don't stop talking about your mom that passed when you were 8, we're going to take this iced coffee away from you.
You know, this drink is for winners. We reward punchlines here at Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
We count the laughs. And this is a big shock to all of us, but when we got into your mom passing and your mental health struggles, the laughs started to dip a little bit. And that means no iced coffee for you.
The levels went down.
We are hemorrhaging money right now. I'm looking at a stock chart. We're now a publicly traded podcast. We're bottoming out.
If you guys could get back to private jets. They've been mouthing at Conan behind me. Boring. Get out of it.
Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Joined as always by my good pals, Sona Movsesian. Hey, Sona.
Hey.
And Mr. Matt Gourley.
Hi, boss.
Please don't call me boss.
Hi, lackey.
You went completely the other way.
Hi, friend.
It is a little strange because other podcasts tape here as part of our company, our growing empire.
You said R, but it's yours.
Yeah, it's implied.
Well, no, now it's official. It's ours.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. We
Oh,
got
yeah,
a piece.
that's legally binding. But Mr. Ted Danson is here all the time,
Mm-hmm.
working, who's one of the most delightful, cool people ever. And he'll walk in and he'll go, "Hey, boss," to me. I'll be like, no. He does it as kind of a joke, but I'll say there's no realm. You know, there's a hierarchy and a ranking in show business, and Ted Danson is way above me in every way. And I think it's very funny when he walks by and says, "Hey, boss, good to see you." And I feel like telling him, "Yeah, go clean that toilet, Danson."
Yeah, you weren't waiting for us to be like, no, you guys are on the same. You weren't waiting for that.
Are you fishing for
I
that?
knew
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't fishing for it, and also I kind of did for a bit, and no one said a word.
Okay, I thought so because
Yeah.
neither one of us was going to say anything.
No,
you're
you
absolutely
went
right.
out of your way to fill a tall glass of water
Yeah.
and then drink all of it.
Mhm.
And then you took a 10-minute nap. And in that period of time, I was still waiting. No, it's just funny. It just reminded me that it's fun seeing him around.
Which one of you's taller?
It's a good question. I haven't lined
Him.
myself up.
I don't know. He carries himself a little taller.
He was here the other day sleeping. Remember when he was sleeping on a couch?
I wasn't here, but
Yeah, he was here and he
wish
was
I
sleeping
I
on a
would've-
couch.
I would've
We
just
all
looked
and
at
the
him.
door was open. We all walked by and we were staring at a sleeping Ted Danson. When you see a celebrity sleeping, it's fascinating.
You didn't have like an impulse to go up and just kind of nuzzle and cuddle him?
Or
No, I think that's a
Whoa.
crime. That's a
What?
crime.
I was going to ask if you were going to put a blanket on him. You said nuzzle and cuddle him?
No, he was perfectly fine and happy. Did anyone here witness it? You saw it.
But I think putting a blanket on him would have been
Speak up,
nice.
please.
I saw it.
We're not talking to people in Dealey Plaza. It wasn't. I mean, for Christ's sake, this is like you saw. You seemed traumatized. Wasn't it funny to see? It was just. I wouldn't say it's funny, haha, funny. It's just kind of arresting to see someone who literally think about all the shows he's been in, how dominant he's been. He's beloved. And then he's completely inert and his computer's shut down and he's stretched out on a couch.
Yeah.
It was fascinating to see.
Vulnerable, yeah.
You
Well,
do
no,
it all
I didn't
the time.
think of that. What's that?
You're not you nap all the time, but you like to lay down, but like to recharge yourself. Maybe he was just recharging.
But have you ever seen me sleeping?
Oh, I've seen you sleeping.
Well, I know, and I found the hole in the wall, by the way,
Oh.
you creep.
There's more than one. There's more than one. There's a whole
It's when I'm
network.
asleep at night. No, have you, Sona, over the years, you've probably seen me sleeping,
I have
right?
seen you sleep.
Have you
I mean,
stared
when we were on tour,
Yeah.
I think there was a time when you were like, "I'm just going to nap for a bit," and I had nowhere else to go, so I just stayed in the room and was on my my computer.
Right.
Like
So you
working.
saw me completely out.
Yeah.
Did you get the impulse to nuzzle him?
No,
Do you see-
not at
no?
all.
Huh.
No, and I
What
didn't
is
want
this?
to put
Yeah,
a
and
blanket
also,
on him either.
Matt, just to be clear, what you're talking about is creepy.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It's not creepy for the aggressor.
Okay.
I'm trying to get more women to weigh in on this.
Yay. What was the question? Is it creepy to nuzzle and cuddle someone when they're napping and not knowing it? It is. It is.
You have to give her a chance to
I'm
answer.
sorry. Yes.
Okay.
I'm loving giving so little.
I know. Joe
It's-
just likes to just keep it close.
I love
to
that. I love that you give so little that it's very funny to me.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Yes. Is the world ending tomorrow? Yes.
her. No.
Good. That's a good answer. Yeah, you can't be nuzzling people, but I just found it kind of fascinating.
I know. I think that's pretty cool.
And I'm such a dynamic personality. It must be kind of strange to see me completely shut down. It's like
you
those.
You pointed at me like, back me up.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, imagine one of those mechanical bucking broncos, but you see it shut down and on its side. Must be kind of strange. Or a whirligig or Ferris wheel. Something that's very dynamic and entertaining to all, but it's shut down.
That's the point, like, back me up.
Come on.
That's your cue. If I just say it myself, I sound like a dick. But point at you and back me up that it's okay. No.
A warehouse full of the most fantastical fireworks anyone's ever seen, but unlit, lying inert on their side in a dank warehouse. Right, Sona? And go. Just a quick yes. That's all we need.
Anyway, so Ted Danson was here napping, huh?
Yeah, he was napping.
That's pretty cool.
My name is Woody Harrelson. I feel supercalifragilistic about being here on Conan.
Yeah. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Hi, my name is Ted Danson. I feel scared about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
You should be scared.
I am.
Yeah. Because you and I have never seen eye to eye.
No, and you're my boss, which makes this really awkward.
It's so funny. You always reference me as your boss, which is very sweet. I don't think I am.
Really?
I don't think it's possible that I could ever be the boss of either one of you. You guys are higher than me in the showbiz totem pole. It's not possible, right? It's just not possible.
It's absolutely not possible. He's definitely my boss, and we don't even, care.
Yeah, it doesn't imply respect.
Yeah, there's no respect needed.
This begs the question, what are we doing here?
Exactly. This was a huge booking mistake on somebody's fault. Listen, I'm so thrilled to talk to you. I know you guys have a podcast you do together, and I am delighted that you are here and I get to speak to you. You're both drinking what looks like blood out of glasses.
Woody may be, but mine's apple.
Okay.
Watermelon.
I think we should address the elephant in the room. Woody, we started a little bit later than we thought because you had a bit of a tumble. Is it fair to call it a tumble?
I think a tumble's a fair term.
Yeah.
Did go over my handlebars.
You went over the handlebars?
Yeah, I was honestly and embarrassingly, I was passing this Tesla on the left that I felt was moving a little slow, but I didn't realize he was moving slow because he's taking a left.
Yes, and you were on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
Yes, and is that your primary way of getting around a motorcycle?
Well, I always feel like the shortest distance between two lines, between 2 points in L.A. is a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
So I do tend to take it, but today it proved not to be so very fast in terms of
right, because
transporting.
We lost some time while people were figuring out, are you alive? Your soul had to re-enter your body.
Yeah.
Did you think for a second when you were going over the hood of the Tesla, this is going to be a huge problem, or did you the whole time were you thinking I'm all right?
No, I always thought I'd be okay. I just felt like there was some pain involved. I felt the pain, but I never thought I'd be, killed or anything.
Okay.
Or
your
maimed.
Your hand is wrapped up like someone in a cartoon.
That's because I wrapped it.
He did a great.
Did you? And you? Is this true?
I wrapped it, and I thought it looked funnier that way.
So let me get this straight. All of your first aid training is helping people in a way that will look funny.
Yeah.
It's not going to help him not get infected or anything like that.
Yeah.
You didn't set the bones in the proper way. You set them in the funny way.
Funny way.
Okay.
And we're in the bathroom, and I'm like, "Didn't you play the doctor, right?" And he says, "Yeah, I also played a lawyer, so we can sue the guy." I said, "Well, I think it's going to have to be a lawyer for the defense this time."
Because I'm not as good with that. Sorry.
So this is fascinating, just to be behind the scenes and know that you guys are both icons. You're on the way to do the podcast with your friend Ted Danson. You wipe out on the motorcycle, you hit a Tesla, you get it together, you come here, you need medical attention. So Ted Danson is the one that helps clean the wound and wrap you?
Yes.
Why haven't we called a real doctor at any point?
I take Ted Danson
Yeah.
over a real
Thank you.
doctor.
Thank you very much.
By the way, his confidence, his demeanor, everything about the way he does it is you feel like, yes, I'm in the best hands. So, never doubted.
I did kind of have that. I was choking back tears, but I was efficient.
First of all, I'm very happy that you're okay.
Me
what kind
too.
Of, what
It
kind
was
of
weird when he asked me to disrobe, but I'm going to
For hygienic purposes.
It's for hygienic and also tax purposes.
Thank you.
So, do you wear, what kind of protection do you wear when you ride?
Whoa. Where are you going?
No. We're not doing that protection, the other protection. Are you armored in any way? Are you wearing a helmet?
I was wearing a helmet.
Okay.
Yes. And so I actually, it did help me because I did hit my head, but
Okay.
the helmet, so no problem.
Okay, good.
What do you have? This makes me sad, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't be sad.
I am. I'm sad.
thank you.
Sad, and why,
Well,
why
he could have
sad?
been hurt badly.
Yeah.
Badly. It makes me sad.
Does it inform what you might do in the future? Might you?
No, that's out of the question, I'm sure.
It should. It certainly should.
Yeah. But this is how you are, right? You live in life on the edge.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, right. In other words, maybe I should just slow down in life and just take it a little
Hey,
easy.
you're doing great. You skinned your hand. Man up. Sorry, I've switched. Switched.
You just switched.
I had my
You
cheery
switched.
moment.
I'm sorry. Literally 15 seconds ago, you said, I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
I'm
You're my
over
friend
it.
and I'm so sad. And then you're telling him to shut the fuck up.
Right. Yeah, my sadness didn't play in the room.
And
So I went
he thought about me going slower.
My sadness didn't play in the room. That is such a sick thing to say. Such a sick thing to say. Oh, wow, we're here in the ward with the terminally ill children. Hope you guys feel better soon. Tough break. Hey, that didn't play so well. Let me try something else. Hey, Timmy, how long you got? Jesus Christ, Ted. I know what you mean, though, Woody. There's something about Ted. Every time I've talked to him, see him out in the world, I just get this calm. You have a very calming presence. And yes, is some of it maybe related to the fact that you are so ubiquitous and well known? Yes. Right. But do other people say that? You'd be like an amazing therapist.
You know, I'm doing these moderate to severe plaque psoriasis commercials, which I think tells you all you need to know that under this, I am, by the way. Yeah.
You can calm other people, but there's no calmness in the interior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you suffer from this malady, or is the money was too much to turn down?
I live on the edge of fear, basically.
Really?
Yes. I remember you sitting me down once during Cheers, and I think I was about to get divorced or something. And he said, Teddy, why are you so fearful? Stuck in my head all the time. And that's what I find amazing. You may have fear and all of that, but you take such big chunks out of life. And I love that.
And yourself, apparently.
I lost a chunk today.
And Larchmont. Sure.
Is this on camera, by the way?
I think we're going to see this. It's comical. That's the thing one of the Three Stooges would put on their heads when they had a headache.
Does anyone have an ice pack?
I haven't seen an ice pack like that in 50 years.
Not a bad idea, though.
Yeah.
Does it look cool?
Oh, yeah. It looks really cool. You guys meet on Cheers. You come in second season? Third season.
Third.
So you waited.
End
fourth.
of third. Yeah, fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. So you.
We remembered well.
Yeah. But you guys worked together and when you came in, the show was hitting on all cylinders.
Close to. We were working our way up from dead last, and I think we were in the 20s maybe when you arrived.
Right.
It was Bill Cosby and his show that pulled us up by the bootstraps.
And then you become the show, which is for a long time, and not just popular, but also beautifully written, really well acted, just perfectly done show, and sort of a iconic sitcom. But you come into this thing, and this is curious, were you scared when you came onto the show? Because I don't think of you as a guy that would be too worried or self-conscious, would
Well, I got to say, I'll never forget the time where you're standing I'm standing off stage, ready to enter the bar, and there's a red light that goes on, as Teddy knows. And so I'm just waiting for this red light, and I know that there's 500 people in the audience, as well as, it's going to be seen nationally, which is stuff I've never experienced. So, I mean, I had experienced a lot of theater in college, which is what really helped me not just fall completely apart. I don't know how someone who hadn't had a little bit of that going on prior could just go into that situation and not just melt, but I do remember the fear of it. And then that red light came on, and then boom, just walked in and, started talking to Teddy behind the bar.
Hit a home run. I mean, your first joke was through the roof, and the audience immediately. No,
I think it was
a simple, easy joke
where I was saying I used to exchange. What is it when you're I was pen pals with Coach, and he goes, "Oh, you exchanged letters?" And I go, "No, pens."
It's a good joke.
Which is so brilliant. I mean, you nailed it. But the writing is so brilliant because here's the person who's going to take the slot, in essence, that kind of pure, innocent slot that Nick Colasanto, the coach, played.
Right, who had passed away.
And you immediately say, oh, they're kindred spirits because they're both exchanging pens and thinking it's wonderful. Kind of brilliant.
Now, I've heard that you guys kind of wanted to haze Woody when he first showed up because the whole crew is, the whole cast is very tight, famously tight. And you guys wanted to haze him by playing basketball.
Well, we were 37 when he showed up, and he was 25, I believe. 24. Fuckstick. Sorry, we can cut that out, I'm sure.
No, you said, no, Your Honor, he said fuckstick. Sustained.
But
Sustained. Thank you.
37 is when you realize you're no longer 25 or 24.
Right.
So it was more not like hazing it. We just wanted to kick his ass in anything we could find.
Sure.
We started with basketball. And as you later found out in life, he's a really good basketball player. So he kicked our asses there. Next, I have a vision of Johnny Ratzenberger, who played Cliff, out on the lawn by the stage doing, the leg wrestling where you're both on your back and you try to flip the other guy with just your leg.
Johnny's
got John's strong and got some thighs on him.
Yeah.
Woody kicked his ass. I literally have a bad elbow to this day because I wouldn't give up arm wrestling, and I did finally give up because he was kicking my butt. So then we moved to chess. Fuck this, sorry, to heck with this physical stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to beat him mentally. Killed us at chess. So this is all in the first week. Really. So from then on, it was like if you had some awful, mean prank to pull, you would not waste it on anyone else except Woody. So and he's to this day, that's Woody Harrelson.
And you must have felt it was at home pretty quickly.
It was the greatest reception I could imagine. Everybody was so lovely, so kind. So I just remember, one moment that did kind of freak me out a little was I remember just Shelley was standing there and I was behind the bar instead of Coach, and she's just like, oh, I miss Coach. Something like that, which was a perfectly understandable.
You should have said, he's dead!
Jeez.
Snap out of it! He ain't coming back! I'm sorry, that's how I talk to people.
Maybe I should have tried
You should have tried it. Yeah, you knew, and you just do it. It's my job now, see?
But, I just saw these guys dealing with the loss of their dear friend and teammate. And but boy, they couldn't have been nicer. It was the most wonderful job, and Teddy at the head of it. Teddy and Jimmy, really.
Jimmy Burrows, Les and Glenn,
and just the way they, they're just amazing people. Teddy to this day is just always, you saw how he took care of me.
No, he literally took you into the bathroom and wrapped you up, which he offered to do to me about a week ago. And I still don't know what that was all about. He said, no, I wish to wrap you.
Conan.
All right. I said I have various salves and wrappings. Ted, you've said that you are really not at all like Sam Malone. In that you are quite different in that, of course, Sam Malone's a ladies' man, and
right.
I just would have assumed that, good-looking guy, and Jesus Christ.
Literally would have to have a woman stark naked in front of me, and I'd still be going, me? Me? I didn't go to bars.
Looking behind you. Is there someone behind me?
Here's my mode of seduction when I was younger was, it's just me, Ted, one of the girls. Let's take our clothes off.
How did this penis get here?
Maybe it's time we talk to you for a minute. Try to clean this up.
Sona, does that work ever? I'm just one of the girls.
I mean, it would work if it's Ted Danson. Honestly, yeah, I think it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting I not try it?
I would not try. I would not try it if I were you.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're closer to Woody than, I mean, aside from your name being Woody Boyd, than Ted is to Sam Malone?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because there's so much of ourselves in any character we play, but
you're really way the fuck smarter than Woody was, bless his heart. And he,
but
sorry, is
that hurts a little?
Yeah,
thanks for saying. No, but I just felt he was more naive than.
Yes, very good.
I mean, that was my standard go-to line. He's naive, not stupid.
Sorry,
trusting.
Right. Yeah, trusting. All good qualities. You're playing a very dark role in this, in Friend of the Family. Which...
Well, yeah, dark show. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's not an easy one.
I've heard of this story, and I just wanted to mention it quickly because it's a story that I found absolutely insane and impossible, and it's true.
Yeah, it's completely insane, and it is 100% true. But yeah, there was a documentary about this family that was on Netflix a few years ago called Abducted in Plain Sight. But the show is about the Broberg family whose daughter was kidnapped twice. Yeah. By a very close family friend.
By a friend of the family who's hung out with them and spent a lot of time with them.
Yeah, and he was a master manipulator, blackmailer, and pedophile. And he groomed not only the daughter, but both of the parents separately.
Yes.
And blackmailed them. And
it's an unbelievable story. And you're
the father. I play the father of I play Bob Broberg, the father of Jan Broberg, who was abducted.
And who is playing
Jake Lacey?
Jake Lacey. Okay.
That
is a dark role to play.
Yeah. It's really heavy stuff. It's really, really dark stuff.
There are so many times, it happens 15 times a day, where I say, that's why I'm not an actor. Seriously, I'm just always blown away by people that can inhabit a role like that and explore that kind of darkness, or just
you could play a serial killer.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the look.
Because that I know.
You've got the look. Yeah.
Got the beady eyes.
You've got it.
No, I've killed and I'll kill again. Yeah. So that's something I know. But there's so many times where I see I'm not one of those people who thinks acting that looks easy. I'm totally in awe of actors because I think I don't have that. I don't have that thing. I don't know how people do that.
I mean, this actually sort of goes into what we were talking about earlier. Like, I would much rather keep things light and easy and fun. And so, like, if there's a comedy to be had, like, all in, can't wait, like, sign me up. Because I just want to be able to laugh as much as humanly possible throughout the course of the day. But like this thing was so dark. I mean, it's hands down the most like challenging thing that I've ever been a part of.
Sure.
And like, I mean, my head is shaved. I'm wearing glass. Like, I did everything I could to not look like myself.
Right.
Just because I was so intimidated by what it was that we were trying to do. But I really took it as like a mission to go like, okay, this is going to be hard. This is going to be challenging and difficult, and there are going to be a lot of days where you're not going to want to go to work, and there's going to be a lot of days where you go, get me the fuck home as soon as possible. But I really tried to do everything I could to go, that's make-believe. Because I always say, look, my job is to wear make-believe and pretend to be other people. So I'm going to wear make-believe. I'm going to pretend to be Bob Broberg for the day. And then when that camera is not on, we are trying to keep things light and accessible and easy so that this is not a miserable place to work every single day. It helped that we had kids around so that we actually had to do that in order like to sort of shelter them. But like I mean, we had this like actors holding area where it's just the, you know, when they're setting up shots, they got to put the actors somewhere. So they can't just throw us into a room and lock us in it. So they call it actors holding, you know, although there's not a fence.
They could lock you in something.
Oh, they could. Some
actors can't pick a lock to save their lives.
No, they can't. And some of us should be locked up. But like we, all of a sudden, I just felt the urge to just have something else to do on set that was just silly and creative. So we just started designing like a fake tiki bar within our actors holding. And so I got mirror balls and Christmas lights, and I was telling the kids, like, bring whatever you want, like everything goes up on the wall, like anything we can do, so that when we are on the stages, it's a fun environment, a fun place to be. I had an 11-hour playlist of tiki music and Hawaiian music to play. Wow. I can forward it to you if you want. And then
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So it turns out.
I'm sorry. Tiki music.
Turns out he's very, very picky when it comes to his music. Noted. Okay. Excited? No. But we had like, I just put everything I could to make it look like a cheesy, fun environment. Right. And so that when we were on the stages, that was where we were hanging. And then when we went actually onto the set, that was where we would do our work, and then we would get the hell out of there as soon as possible. And that ended up, thankfully, being kind of the way everyone like wanted to work as well. Like, good. And it made that experience so much better. And I think it made it possible for me to do all the really dark stuff that I had to do. So it was. Yeah, blast to make. I don't know what it's going to be like to watch. Enjoy 9 hours. 9 hours of how the hell did this happen?
Yeah. Why?
Well, we'll show you for the next 50 minutes.
Honestly, the best thing Colbert said to me is before, I think the week before we aired.
Stephen Colbert?
This is Stephen Colbert.
Okay, because I know.
I can't call him Stephen.
No,
it
I
feels
just
disrespectful.
I only say that because I don't feel people know him, and the word's not out. But it's Stephen Colbert, and he has the show that's on before Taylor, and it's fun. Anyway, go ahead. And shout out to Stephen. I know he's a huge. He likes to just sit, I think, in a parking lot in his hometown and just listen to this podcast over and over again.
I heard it was a hot tub.
It's a hot tub. Yeah. He has a hot tub in his car in a parking lot. Anyway, it's all very sad. But anyway, what did Stephen Colbert tell you?
Stephen Colbert. I remember we were at dinner the week before the show came on, and he gave me a lot of great advice, and he has the entire time. But one thing he said that was really helpful is he goes, "You don't have to be as good as you think you have to be, like right away." He's like, as a host of a late night show, like people are just happy to see you. Like people just want to hang out with you at night. Like you don't have to be like hilarious every second. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Like, awesome. Then I won't even try. Like, that's awesome.
I think that philosophy has really hurt Stephen. I just want to say. Because every time I see his show, I think he's not even trying. And this needs to be better. And I've told him, we're friends. I tell him this all the time. But he's always saying, no, I don't have to try. It's okay. People are just happy to see me. And I'm like, no, raise the bar, man.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is like, he's like, for example, he was like, so you should go out before the show and like talk to the audience and like build some rapport and like, ask if anyone has any questions. And I did that for the first couple weeks. And I haven't said this to him, but I probably should. Like, I told other people, I was like, I don't know if Steven realizes he's much more famous than I am. So people have questions for Steven.
Right.
Before his show, they're like, oh, thank God he's going to talk to us. And when I'm like, does anyone have any questions? They're like, we know where the bathroom is. We're good. Like, can you just get on with it?
You know what? You now made me really want to go and sit at the audience of Steven's show and put my hand up and ask where the bathroom is. I really want to do that.
Because people in his audience come with questions for him specifically, and I go up and I'm like, anybody have anything? They're like, not really. And I was like, great. To be clear, that was a CBS note that they wanted me to say that. And we have such a great Percy, our warm-up guy, is like so incredible, and he just did a whole dance, and you're like, I'm not going to bring the room down.
Right.
I
don't think you'd be bringing the room down.
I say hi, but I'm not,
Okay, I'll tell you, I used to work way too hard before the show started on the late night shows, Monday through Friday. I would go out and I would entertain them like it was the last show they were all going to see.
Yeah.
And then they were all going to be taken away in the mothership and destroyed. And I was like, I would go out. I was doing songs. I was doing shtick. And they loved it. And I was sweating. And then I would go backstage and they'd go, here he is, Conan O'Brien. And I would come out and I was like, I looked like people watching at home like, man, he looks uncomfortable and tired. I was like, I gave them everything up front, and then it took me about a year to realize, stop doing that. It was such a needy thing to do.
Well, and probably hard to follow yourself, right?
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, it's also, I just did a show for them, personally. Then they saw me walk out, and cameras are there, and then that's for the television viewer, and they happen to be there too.
Yeah.
And so, of course, they felt like, well, we just got the dessert up front, which is we got him talking to us. So
yeah, it's like trying to follow crowd work during an hour. Is like if something just destroys, you're like, this is great, but now I have to go back to my material. And people might
hard to
feel
follow yourself. I'm still on that. That's just so deeply philosophical, especially for you. Just how do you follow you? You know.
Well, I'm a big fan of me.
I know.
So
that's what I mean.
I'm
You'd
excited.
be intimidated by yourself.
Is that really him?
I can't follow that guy.
He's so much taller than I thought he'd be.
No, that's really helpful to hear, actually. I was also going to ask, because you didn't go into dressing rooms before the show, right?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
Never
often.
came into
Well,
mine. Did the show twice.
Oh, no.
Never said hi. But that's okay. I was a stand-up.
No, I will tell you why. When it was women, I was told sometimes that my appearances were abrupt. And it almost looked like I was trying to catch them. So I got a talking to. Remember, Sona, you talked to me. You were the one.
Yeah, I was. Like, stop just barging in
With
there.
the men you knock, and then you come in, and with the women you kick the door open and go, what's going on? No, I wouldn't do it all the time, but I would do it. Sometimes I thought if there was a guest, especially if there was a guest that I wasn't sure what the chemistry was going to be. I wanted to go in first and get a reading of like, what is and you can tell, like you can go in, and if I had a difficult time, I remember going in and, well, I can say Lance Armstrong, years before his, scandal, he was on the show and he was like the biggest, thing in cycling and one of the biggest figures in sports. And I was excited to have him on. I didn't know anything about him personally. And I went in to talk to him, and he was just kind of felt like he had a chip on his shoulder, and I couldn't connect. And I can connect with a burnt out light bulb if I have to. Like I can really connect if I couldn't figure it out.
Lance, I have chemistry with everyone.
Yeah, I know.
This is not on me.
But I said, yeah, your chemistry seems altered.
Oh, boy.
But no, I left the room, and my producer was eating a bowl of soup and went, "What's going on?" And I said, "Jeff, I don't know about it with Lance Armstrong." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sure it'll be good." Slurp, slurp. And so then I we had the interview, and I felt the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not, anyone would look at it now and go like, "Oh, it's fine," but I couldn't figure it out. And I like to go in sometimes. Sometimes there were people who were really nervous, and sometimes surprising, because extremely famous actors who
I'm a huge, I mean, I love Joaquin Phoenix. I love him. I think he's a terrific actor. And I think he was, what a lot of people forget is that these people have a different skill, which is he's an amazing actor. But I think at that stage anyway, he would come on the show and he didn't do a lot of talk shows. And I remember he was really nervous.
Oh, wow.
So I would go in and just talk to him. And he would say, "This is crazy. I can't do this." And I thought, "What are you talking about? You're an iconic young actor. They're going to be so happy to see you." But it was not his process to go out and just shoot the shit with someone. So sometimes I would go in and just let them know, first of all, the stakes are really low. It's just you and me. I like to take care of people, and we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And that would help if we had a relationship prior to them coming out.
Well, and our show is also different because, I mean, this is something I've been sort of trying to find time for because, like, I just didn't realize how fast the day was going to go. So you're like, there's not a lot of time. I usually meet panelists when they're coming out to rehearse, which is when everybody else is meeting them.
Right.
So I've been looking at my schedule going like, okay, where can we find time? Because they get there and they start working with the writers on jokes. Not to like destroy the illusion, everybody.
I was going to say,
not a real game
when I've
show.
watched, when I have watched it the first time I saw it, and as jaded as I am, you'd think I'd know, but I'm watching it and I was like, wow, these people are killing it with their answers. And then literally a me stepped out of me and went, come on, man, you're smarter than that. Oh, okay, the writers, okay, great. But it works. It's funny.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, they're working with the writers like in their rooms, in hair and makeup. Like, I don't want to take time away from that. So figuring out how to do that. And there's also like, there's guests I feel nervous around. Like, you know, Maria Bamford came on the show and I was like very nervous around her because I just think she's a genius. And like Janie, my social media manager, was like, you wouldn't even look her in the eye. And I was like, yeah, because I was scared. Like, yeah. But there's also lots of people that I am friends with or I know, and that's like an easy day and I feel very comfortable around them. But there's also a lot of people I haven't met. And, you know, finding out how to do that. And I'm horrified to find out you did go into everyone's dressing rooms, except for mine.
Not yours.
So, I mean,
again, it was an
look,
HR. It was an HR
twice.
issue.
Yeah, I only did it twice. It's fine. But
third time is when I go in. Tom Hanks came on many times. First two times I wouldn't go in. It was always it's got to be third time.
But like Kelly Clarkson doesn't go in. I mean, doesn't go into mine. You know, I don't know.
Can I just say, not to
Now
bum
I
you
don't
up,
know.
but Kelly Clarkson walks in here all the time. Just walks in to check in on us.
She stops by my house sometimes.
No, I know. She's incredible.
Well,
She
but
inflated the tires on my mountain bike.
But both times I did her show twice, and both times like she just makes you feel so comfortable immediately on stage. So you're like, oh yeah, it's fine, in the same way you did. But like, yeah, I think everyone just has their own, you know, process, and so it's been interesting. Like in the first month that we're doing it, trying to find how it works best for
Everyone's
me.
got their own way. Some people, I know Letterman never went in and talked to anybody. And I think he just wanted to keep it all fresh.
Right.
But it's all what serves you. Like I said, you have to get to the point where there's got to be just almost this ruthless quality of, as you go through it, you're going to realize, I like this. This makes me comfortable. This I'm less comfortable with. And you can't judge it. You just have to make sure that that's what happens.
Yeah.
So if something works for you and serves you, do that. You know, it's funny because the dynamic, your brother could not be less like you. It's so fantastic how different you guys are. And I've got to know him a little bit. And you've described yourself as a dyslexic extrovert and Rich as an OCD introvert.
Yeah.
And I thought, when I read that description...
I mean, I said that in a therapy session and it got out.
Yeah. I was the therapist.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I just came in for the meds and now all of this.
But it's fascinating that it works so well. And then in other times, you guys would have to say, that's it, can't do this anymore. For a long period of time.
Yeah, and for... Again, like anything in life, I mean, I envy the bands that every band, every business, every partnership, everything has its ebb and flow and good and bad. I love the people that kept their shit private. We were just not going to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
We were, to us, our connection with music and everything is an emotional connection. It's a feeling. We didn't learn music. Rich and I don't know any music. If you put it in front of us, I don't know what key I'm singing. You know what I mean? Like it is something that we've developed. And I mean, yes, of course, we know a little bit of music 35 years later, but it's really just by a visceral sort of connection to what it is. In the same way, that's how we write. Rich will play me it could be the littlest thing. It could be, I don't know, a rhythmic thing, a seventh note. I don't know. It could be whatever it is dictates. That's where I start. That's where I come in. This song is, whatever the theme is going to be comes from something that She Talks to Angels is a great example. We were still living at Mom and Dad's house, and he just played that little thing, and he just started mucking around with open E. And that song is funny because it was very easy to write a scene or a story about. I knew someone that looked a certain way who I at the time had heard was into heroin, right? Or hard drugs. But I don't know. They never had a child or lost a child. You know what I mean? Like, I just fill in the blanks of the story I want to tell. But I'm not even beginning to tell that story without just whatever that little thing is Rich plays me. Because I've written many songs by myself, written songs with other people, and it's different. You know what I mean? That's what he and I do. So between our OCD and dyslexia, we make one functioning songwriter, I think. We're one Billy Joel.
So
Billy Joel who doesn't shower.
I'm picturing when little kids, when one gets on the other's shoulder and they put on a big trench coat and try to go to the movie theater as an adult, and the hand comes out of the crotch to pay for it.
But instead, they play piano.
By the way, what's the Billy Joel song where he goes, what's the one where he breaks into like a vampire voice? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one.
God, it's so funny.
Long Island Vampire?
No, it's one of his big hits. Yeah, the Long Island Vampire.
You're going to talk to Big Shot. That's one. Big Shot.
No, because I was a big shot.
Yes.
Didn't
That's so fucking crazy.
I'm like, what is he?
That's so crazy. I started to scan my brain and I just said, Billy Joel Vampire, and I went to him and the guitar going, you think that you're a big shot, didn't ya?
Count Chocula.
Yeah, Count Chocula. Well, you're not coming to my castle. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, someone talk to the bass player because I'm in the key of E flat. What?
After every concert, his band mysteriously disappears.
Will you get him on just to ask him what the fuck was that?
I would ask him about the other song where he's like, JFK blown away. The one where he's just listing things that happened in history. That's the one I remembered that Billy Joel was on Saturday Night Live and he was performing that song. We
didn't start the fire.
But then it's the whole list of like,
Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe DiMaggio.
Okay, well, you're fired. You have a now. Get out.
Way, I have erectile dysfunction after that.
Yeah.
Really? I have a huge boner.
But anyway, I remembered watching, being back near the craft food service table where the double doors are in Saturday Night Live, where the food is, and I'm standing there, and he's singing that song, listing things, and Jim Downey's standing there, and he turned to me and he went, he's just listing things! This is when it was like the #1 song in the country. But Jim Downey knew. He's just listing things!
Just reading the credits as it goes down. It's like, bring me my Encyclopedia Britannica. Which ones do you want? All of them.
Get them all! This is a long song.
A to Z. Sorry, I didn't know why he breaks into the vampire sound.
Well,
it was the 70s.
He was feeling it. You think you're a big shot, didn't you? What's fascinating to me is that I don't think people get all jumbled up about time later on, and it doesn't matter, but you have to understand that in 1990, nobody was dressing like you. There was a Seattle punk thing that was starting to happen, and then there was also hair metal, and then you guys, and I think you've called it's Mick Jagger circa like 1970.
Well, yeah, we really loved like 72 Stones. Like that was like the way Keith kind of looked. The Stooges. But it's funny because I always remember, you know, it was hard to find clothes like that. And everyone had looked like Guns N' Roses. And we went to England for the first time, and they had a place called Kensington Market. It was fabulous, amazing place. Like crazy stalls and homemade wild clothes and all sorts of stuff. Punk things, goth things, Renaissance, whatever it could be. And I bought a pair of like maroon kind of bell bottoms. And we came back to the States, and we were on tour with Aerosmith, funny enough, our first tour bus. But we played a gig in Rochester, New York. There's a baseball stadium there. And it was Black Crowes, Warrant, Metallica, Aerosmith. We're on first. And I remember this. I come out of the thing, and I'm like wearing my bell bottom, you know, with the way we look. And people are like snickering at me. And I'm like, y'all motherfuckers laugh all you want. I look cool, you know, like I feel cool.
Yeah.
And we went up and did the gig, and people, like a lot of Metallica fans are like, you know, carving pentagrams of bleeding in their hands. Fuck yeah! Hey, yeah!
Oh, I get that a lot.
You know, they were like, we were the worst thing they've ever seen, but we were still kind of street, you know, we're from Atlanta, and I get up there and I'm like, rubbing my butt and looking at them, like kissing them, and I'm like this, bring it up here, big boy, you know, I'm saying, they're fucking throwing tennis shoes and golf balls and shit at us. I'm like, who's bringing golf balls? Boing, boing. And so, but we did it. Who brought a pocket full of fucking golf balls to this gig? Security, you know. So we do the gig though, and we, you know, some people like it, I imagine. We're still here, but we didn't. We were like this, you know, fuck y'all. We're going to do our fucking thing, and this, you can't stop us. That's part of this weird rock and roll thing.
Yep.
So we go backstage. We're like, whatever. We played 30 minutes or whatever. Warrant is going on next. And they come out of the trailer in these little matching like outfits. They look like the Osmond family, you know what I mean? Crazy horses, you know.
I remember that.
And they would like do their little dance, and they would have like little matching, like one's got blue shirt, one's got a white shirt, blue pants, white leg, you know, little outfits. And these guys are wearing like these little, you know, at the time, I guess they had never saw the Osmond family, but
right.
So the stadium, I don't know, there's 50,000 people in there. And you just hear, Warren sucks, Warren sucks.
Oh, Jesus.
And that whole place is ringing this out. Like, it's loud. And they look at each other, and they went back in their trailer, put on their, like, sweatpants and got on the bus, and they left.
No.
And I was like, I mean, I get it. They didn't even know we were the Black Crowes enough to say we sucked. We would have gone out anyway. We just would have. We were that.
Insert name here sucks.
These people wanted Metallica. And Aerosmith, which is totally cool. Of course, but I was like, you know, I was like, you should, if you really believe in what you're doing, you weather the storm, get up there, give it to him. You don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you can't just fold. I mean, I'm not picking on them. I'm sure they're rad dudes. I don't hang out with them at the all-you-can-eat sushi place.